and had plenty hit-outs to advantage, which of course is the key stat as a ruckman.
And son of Rick, the mighty Matt Rendell.
Okay, yeah, great player for Fitzroy, of course.
He was.
Back in the day.
He played well against Essendon. And
Fitzroy were good too at that stage.
Played in good teams.
So, yeah, and it would be great to see some of these players back up from last week. One player in particular, I thought Dandenong's best last week was Sam Fletcher. So we'll see if he backs that up again with another good on-ball game today. And Ned Carl actually killed him on the forward line. I think he'll be getting full time today.
23rd man again today.
Is he?
That's right.
I haven't been told that one. He got a bit of extra time last week with the player going off injured, so we'll see how they manage Ned Carl. I think they'll have him on early, that's for sure.
The other one for them that I noted this morning on Twitter is that Hayden Young has secured, he's a bottom major, has secured a scholarship. So that, when Kevin Sheen comes in the second game, he's joining us at half-time, we'll have a bit of a chat to him about the scholarship and what that can help Hayden with in his top age year.
They weren't listening to us last week, were they? Because he was a player we mentioned before the game last week that we'll be watching. So we don't have a lot of influence, but you never know, Crooksy.
Interested to see how Ben King goes today, because it should be taken into account. They had a 120-point win last week. Not Sandringham, sorry. They had a 30-point win. Yeah. But they still did it pretty easily on the pitch. So he'll have a few more, a bit more to compete with this year.
He didn't have a lot of height on him last week when Nick Murray went down as well. But it will be interesting because he was fantastic last week, and it's probably the first time we've really seen him on TAC Cup radio really hit his straps, and he was fantastic that day.
5 goals, 6. So if he straightens up his kicking, he would have had a huge day. But last time we watched a Sandringham play Dandenong, Matthew Cumming went straight to Ben King. So we wonder if we see that match up again today.
Absolutely. But for Sandringham to beat the favourites, they've been favourites to take out the TAC Cup Premiership all year. They're going to need Ben King to kick a bag, I think. Yeah,
no doubt. And they'll be putting a lot of work into him. And they're very strong backline, Dandenong, so they'll be definitely making sure that they've got the right guy on him. So you might see a player like Cumming go to him, just that extra height. We'll have a look at that early in the piece. That might be your job there, Siobhan. Keep an eye out who they're going to match up and whether they continue with that. Another player last week that really stepped up was Jack Marnie, who he's not one of the players that they talk about a lot, but I thought he was terrific last week, Marnie, and we'll see if he backs up that game with another good one.
All right, just before we take our first break, the umpires are out on the field. Just a shout out to our good bud Matthew Cox, who's had a tough week. His father's in Royal Melbourne with some pretty serious health issues. I know Matt spent most of the week there this week with his mum and his sister and his dad, and just from all of us, and I've got the temerity to include the whole TAC Cup family, just wishing Matthew and his family all the best. And hopefully he's home soon. Of course, Executive Maintenance, proud sponsors of TAC Cup Radio. Really.
Yeah, exactly right.
And a ripping bloke at the same time, so look after yourself. And Matt, we'll see you back here next week for Grand Final Day. We'll take a break. On the other side of this, it's PF1. It's the Stingrays taking on the Dragons on TAC Cup Radio, stream live through the TAC Cup website.
Cowboys Cash and Carry have the largest range of clothing bargains in the northern suburbs for the whole family. Schoolwear and workwear has just arrived and is half the price you would expect to pay at major stores. A family-run business, Cowboys Cash and Carry has new stock daily and 15,000 square feet of bargains. Come and see what the northern suburbs are raving about. Mention this ad and get 10% off their already cheap prices. Cowboys Cash and Carry, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown, open 7 days.
Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years. Technica appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design, providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances, because like their customers, they want the very latest in innovation and quality. Technica, proud sponsor of the Northern Knights and TAC Cup Radio. Executive Maintenance has grown to be a preferred facility maintenance provider by maintaining excellence for over 25 years. A registered domestic and commercial building practitioner, Executive Maintenance provides facility maintenance for government, corporate, property and retail sectors. Whether it's a handyman for your corporate space or a fully qualified crew to manage your project, Executive Maintenance has the knowledge and expertise to provide a personal yet professional service. If you need assistance with your building maintenance needs, email admin@executivemaintenance.com.au. Executive Maintenance, a proud sponsor of TAC Cup Radio. Another year of TAC Cup football and your number one AFL draft site is back and bigger than ever. AdZ Media, powering AFL Draft Central, continues to revolutionise the way AFL draft content is reported. In 2018, the team has increased to more than 40 writers who will provide powerful and cutting-edge stories nationwide. With draft news, features and women's football coverage, AFL Draft Central is your one-stop shop for AFL draft content. Head to afldraftcentral.com.au or stay up to date with us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Check out at AFL Draft Central. Essendon captain Heppel settles, and he's done it! He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun pup Cal Porter is looking good in his debut match. Gippsland Power generates footy legends, and NG is the power behind Gippsland Power. NG Hazelwood are proud to be helping tomorrow's future stars as major sponsor of Gippsland Power. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars. Go Power! Nixon Finance has been running in the Plenty Valley area of Greensborough for over 20 years. As your financial consultants and brokers, they specialise in all your equipment and vehicle finance needs. Home loans, business loans, commercial property loans. They deal with all the banks and get the right loan that suits your needs. Call Phil Smith during business hours on 9435 2600 or email nixonfinance@bigpond.com.
On taccup.com.au, this is TAC Cup Radio.
Back here at Icon Park. It's the first preliminary final and the Dandenong Stingrays are out on the ground, bathed in beautiful sunshine. The weather report wasn't looking all that flash, but just at this one point in time, early doors, Rick, it doesn't look too bad.
Doesn't look too bad, and there was a little bit of wet stuff on the grass when I went down, but I'd say this wind would have dried that up by now. It's in perfect condition, Icon Park, and put a lot of money into it, and it's, look, I think it's in the best shape it's ever been in.
It is, and the Dandenong boys are in the traditional strip, Rick, with the black nicks.
Yeah, the yellow and black and little specks of white. But I think it's a great uniform, isn't it, the Dandenong uniform?
Sort of shaped like the Eagles with the wings coming down from the front of the chest, and there's a stingray in the middle where you'd find an eagle on an Eagles jumper. And the Dragons, equally as good, I reckon, Rick. Yeah, they look great too, don't they? We like a good contrast, and they've got the dark or the navy blue with the V and the dragon on the front. White and maroon V and the dragon, and they're wearing the white nicks today.
White nicks, which is good as well. We shouldn't have any trouble with these uniforms.
And the numbers stand out perfectly on the back.
On the back?
That's what I like. On the back,
not convinced about the front.
No, the front's not much chop, but on the back they're great.
Yeah, they stand out, definitely. But the black's always worried me on the front.
Selection time, Siobhan.
I'm going to go for the Dandenong Stingrays. I just think they're a little bit too good on all areas of the ground.
Pretty hard to tip against them, Rick. Says the man on top of the tipping.
Am I in front, Emma?
Oh, I believe you to be, Rick.
Okay.
As if you don't know. You've been hovering on it. You've been logged on to the TAC Cup website all week, just waiting for that.
It's the first time I think I've ever won it, just about. I think Dandenong are too strong. Sandy, like I said, they're at their best at the moment, so that's a good thing going for Sandringham. But Dandenong, the one thing they got going for them is their offensive pressure. They're 1%ers. They're very good in that area, and they pressure the opposition, and they're very good foot skills as well. And they got the tools to take the marks, and They got the good on-ballers as well. So I think Dandenong by 5 or 6 goals.
5 or 6 goals. You guys saw them. I wasn't there in the last round. What was the end result that day?
Quite a big
Pretty
result.
convincing, yeah, was at that stage.
The way of the Dandenong Stingrays, they were quite impressive that day. Matthew Cottrell best on ground for us that day for the Stingrays.
Didn't get a vote in the umpires.
Stocker was really impressive for the Dragons on that day.
Okay. All right, teams are breaking up. And we'll just check which end everyone's kicking to. I believe the Dandenong Stingrays, Rick, which way are they going? Just trying to see who's down on that forward line.
We already had a toss that we've missed.
Yeah, as usual.
Looks like there might be a breeze.
Dandenong is kicking to the eastern end, the Lygon Street end today, and Sandy going to Royal Parade. You were out in the ground earlier, Rick. Is there?
Yeah, there's a fair bit of a swirly breeze, really, but we'd have to have a good look at the kicking from 50 to get a good guide of how much it's going to play a part.
I think it's just going to be gusty, Rick. Just going to be gusty.
Yeah, it looks very gusty and high winds throughout Melbourne today.
All right, umpire in place. Checks with the skippers. Has a bit of a squiz around. One trainer still getting off the track. Puts the TW aloft, and they're off and racing, Rick.
So we've got Stephen coming up in the ruck and gets the first knockout. Stocker went without it. Just flicked into another pack situation. We're back in the middle and we'll have another ball up.
Not the first time that's happened, Rick.
No,
and Cummings hurt himself, Rick. Got a bit of a twinge to the ankle.
Gee, that was in the first jump of the day. Not a regular ruckman either. Tapped out by Rendell. Or one player just got upended, and that was Jai Taylor. He'll take the free kick, and he'll kick long. And it was low and an intercept mark. There was a lot of that last night in the Melbourne Hawthorn game. And they'll pump it back towards half-forward. Over the top, that player, Hayden Young, almost took it. Packs formed again. Little flick out that time from Reynolds.
Clever kick.
A little kick that went 12 metres, Crooksy. Play on's the call. They'll kick towards centre wing, over the back, juggling mark that time by Matthew Cumming.
As expected, Matthew Cumming straight to Ben King.
Kicks it very long. I think the wind's going that way.
Good call, Rick.
That kick was anything to judge by. And Charlie Dean goes back to the goal square. Probably dangerous when you're going to kick into the breeze. Running around, Seaton gets a little chip pass into the pocket. Spoil. You can hear the wind in the background. They'll centre it. Foot goes up, juggling attempt, but this time it'll be cleared. Reynolds for Sandy. Gets it to the outer wing. Kick didn't hit the target. Blustery conditions, as we mentioned. Trying to work it out of the trouble zone, and now they should get a kick. Sandy get it forward, down towards half forward.
No one up forward.
Out in front, King. Oh, he kicks it 5 metres. Be intercepted by Garn. He gets tackled. And we're right on the 50 for Sandringham.
2 minutes into the first quarter, Technica time clock. No score. Up they go. Sandy, tap down. Dandenong looking to release. Bedford kicks to centre wing, bounces and over the boundary line and out of bounds. Centre wing, city side of the ground, right in front of the coaches' boxes. We've got the perfect view on the wing there. They've got a perfect view of the scoreboard, which is something we don't have, as we have a perfect view of them as the boundary umpire and the sun just shines over Icon. Beautiful red footy coming back in, tap down. Ball in dispute. It's a quick kick by Finley Bain. Kicks to half forward. The wind carries it over the boundary line and out of bounds. And it'll be Sandringham to bring the ball back in. It's brought back in by Worrell. They're going to switch play. This has got danger, danger, danger written all over it. And they see it over the boundary line and out of bounds. I think that was Mitch Reardon. The intercept mark, but just spoil. Wasn't Reardon, it was McDonald. Ball thrown in. 30 metres around from Dandy's goal. Running onto it. Handball over the top to Taylor. He can't keep it in play. Sandringham close to the goal line. Get it out. Good work. Worrell. He's going to switch play out to the City side of the ground. And again, this has got danger, danger, danger written all over it. Foot. Spun around in a tackle. He releases the footy. Sandringham, quick hands in heavy traffic. Eventually they get it through Richards, and it comes out this side of the ground to Liam Stocker, the Morris medalist. He's going to use the corridor, sets his man a task, and he's up to it. King. They look up forward. They've got a man on the lead. He takes it, slips over at an inopportune time. Dandenong can pounce. They do. They bustle their way through. Left foot. Long raking kick up to Williams. Drop comes off his chest. He butters up. Picks it up one-handed. Very clever. He's over the top of it. The umpire's looking. Doesn't give it. Play on. Dandenong to get the ball out. It's a quick hacking kick by Sam Fletcher. All eyes on the footy, and brave mark taken there by Callum Jones.
Jones at half-back. Works it wide. King's coming up the ground. Good tactics. No, that was the player there in Kennedy. He'll go this side. Now he'll go back into the centre. Nice take by Forbes. Played pretty well last week. Left footer. Goes to the middle of the ground. Finds King, who's moved up. They've got it on the burst. And they'll kick through Richards down towards the forward line. Here they come through the middle. Denborough.
Jack Mahoney.
Or Mahoney. And that is a good goal. He was one we mentioned before the call. And King working up the ground is helping them at the moment because he's got his hands on three marks so far. And not a bad tactic. Very swirly breeze out there at the moment. You can see even the jumpers blowing in the wind.
The NG scoreboard, Sandringham Dragons, 1 straight goal, 6. Dandenong yet to score. And we are 6 minutes in on the Technica time clock. Ball up in the middle. Sandringham get the clearance again. Handball tackle. You can hear that wind. It's starting to, I'm getting a bit worried up here. We're up a bit high. As Sandringham go inboard. Rendell couldn't take it. Now he's slung tackled. Umpire not having a bar of it. Good strong tackle there by Riley Bowman. And they will get up. Ball to be thrown up between centre wing and the centre square. Tap down. Ball's in a bit of a chaos footy. Sandringham first to it. Put in another dinky short kick. And it is over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Both sides boasting really contested inside midfielders, so it's no surprise that both of the teams don't want to take a backward step early in this game.
Ball to be thrown in right in front of the interchange bench. Neither team really settled just as yet. I think Sandringham would be happy with their start. That might have been in the back. No, says the umpire. Dandenong just trying to pressure the ball out, and eventually they do to Fletcher. They get it out the back. They kick. You can hear the wind pick up, and that's landed in the hands of Callum Jones.
Jones at half-back, being busy. Oh, you can see that wind take that ball right away. Chasing hard was Burke. Gets it inside the boundary. And that looks like Ralph Smith over there, but we'll go back into the middle of the ground. Taken away this time by Reardon, who bombs it down towards the forward line. And definite advantage to Dandenong at the moment. Although some of those Sandringham kicks along the grandstand wing have carried, so they might get a bit more distance over this side of the ground with the grandstand sheltering the wind. So we're in the forward pocket, Dandenong attacking. Bailey Williams to the front, taps it forward. Looks like Sandringham, but a good follow up there. tackle. They've gone back in. Can't quite break away. There's the dangerous Carl. He lost it. The kick was cleared and it looks like it's gone too wide out in the full. This will be taken by Plumridge. Now, it'd be interesting. You'd think it'd be a little right to left, so it's a very difficult kick from that angle.
I'm not sure. I don't think a little's the right adverb.
Just from that angle with the stand behind him. And it stayed fairly straight. Just forced through from behind.
First score on the board for Dandenong, and it is a behind. They're one behind. Sandringham, a 1 goal straight 6 on the NG scoreboard, and the Technica time clock is just ticked past 9 minutes as they bring the ball back in. Corey Watts. Stuck in the back pocket. Kicks to half back. Might have been interference there to Rendell, but he took the mark anyway. Rendell puts in the short kick. Won't be far enough. Kennedy. Now they... Oh, Rendell, good work. Drags it in. He's going to get one this time. No, play on, he says. Ball spat out. Eventually, it's going to come out. Slam tackle into the turf. And that ball's going nowhere.
Both sides, especially the Dandenong Stingrays, use the ball really well. Their kicks always hit a target. In this breeze, they need to adjust that.
Cummings with the beautiful tap out, and they thump it down towards the pocket. Almost stayed in and out of bounds. Interesting how they've put Cummins as the first ruckman today. Bailey Smith was picked. Thought he might get the job, but it looks like he hasn't been selected in the final team. We might have to check that out. And Bailey Williams, of course, the TAC Cup ruckman in the Victorian squad. So a little kick out by Carl, and he's put it through. The ever dangerous
Sandy boys, and they're not having a bar of it.
They're claiming it was touched, but Carl with the little flick on the boot.
He's so dangerous. He was really, really good last week in Dandenong's win against the Rebels. And once again, he's hit the scoreboard early, and he's certainly a really good small forward to have there. Dangerous.
Now, the other reason Williams might be in the square is with this breeze. He's a key target, isn't he, up forward? But, yeah, it is interesting. Like, he hasn't played a lot of first ruck, has he?
No, I'm not... Yeah, well, he has a little bit, but NG scoreboard, 1-1-7, Sandringham, 1 goal straight, 6. And the Technica time clock is 11.5 minutes in. Sandringham, ball still in the centre circle. Dandenong work it well through Fletcher. They kick out to the city side of the ground. They lead the race to the ball. Bain liked his game last week. Handball's inboard to Fletcher. Needs to be precise. The ball's a bit errant, just a forward handball. They've got some numbers. They haven't got the footy. They try to smother it. Eventually they get it out. Play on, says the umpire. Fletcher runs into a bit of trouble there. They're caught, tackled, holding the ball. Good defensive pressure there by the Sandy Dragons, and it is Jack Denborough who gets the resultant free kick. He's on the back corner of the square. Denborough, the left footer, kicks out to centre wing, city side. Plenty of stingers. Sandringham at the foot of the ball, foot of the pack. Now they put a little dinky one in, and they've got a mark. Kennedy, he doesn't muck about. He gets it over to Richards. He needs to be clever. Clever he is. He kicks it up right into the heart of 50. Who can take a mark? It's Dandenong, and play on straight away. Dashing, Mark Zanotti-like. Kicked out wide to half forward. On the race is Bain, trying to keep it in. Good tussle. Ball gets smashed out, and it's over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Great chase from Joshua Worrell from Sandy there. Looked like Finlay Bain was going to get to that ball first and take off.
So they're underneath us here. Hammer with the dash for Dandy. We've got Cummins this time. Taps it to the front. Paddled forward by Frawley. Out of bounds it goes.
Halfway through the quarter, I think Sandy would be pretty happy.
Yeah, it is an advantage, this breeze, and 1 goal apiece, basically, with a 1-point lead to Dandenong. They're guarding players around the ground, one-on-one, all around the ground at the moment. They've tapped it forward, sharked by Shergwin.
Oh.
They get it back out to Reynolds, who's been busy. Little kick out further afield, that time by Gray, gets it into the centre. They'll follow it up. Can they get through the traffic? Dandy get the numbers inside the centre square, and it's sharked out that time. Worked away by Stenning, who gets it to Carl. He chips it over, and a gutsy mark running the opposite way to Williams.
He's backing himself in to have this shot on goal. He's struggled with his goal kicking a little bit of late, but still has really good hands, as we saw there, marking that footy.
Interesting to watch the goal umpire here, whether he moves, which way.
It was a great 50-50 in the middle there.
Yeah, it was. They got numbers around it, didn't they, Dandenong, to just hold them up. So Williams comes in, and he straightened it up nicely. Interesting. And that is a great goal. Good passage of play. And Dandy with the advantage. 2-1-13 leads Sandy. 1 goal straight, 6. That is on the NG scoreboard. First quarter action.
And we're ticking over 15 minutes on the Technica time clock. Dandenong's second goal. They lead by 7 points. 3/5 through the quarter. Up she goes. Tap down. We're still in the centre circle. Sandringham, they're scrapping well in the middle. Gets slung. Didn't have the footy at that stage. Yes, good call, Crooksy. Talking in the third person. I shouldn't be doing that. I like to say, I've ever turned into an umpire in my old days. They want to make sure I'm on the ball. They go down the corridor, the Dragons. This is Stamatis. Now the big launch inside 50. They need a grab. The ball's come out the back. They've got a kind bounce, and it's a dribbler.
It was one of the worst dribblers you'd ever see, that. Dribbled it into the point post.
Straight into the point post. He hit it flush. Ball to be thrown in. Royal Parade end. Good chance for the Dragons to get one from a stoppage. King comes over the top, taps. Ball still in dispute. Dandenong trying to muscle it out. They spit it out the back of the pack. Now Sandy. Ugly, ugly footy. Going nowhere. The ump will have to come in and ball it up. 45 metres out from the Dragons' goal.
You're exactly right. It's ugly footy. No team's been able to have a clean passage of play just as yet.
King. And it's a free kick to Ben King.
Was it for a hold?
Well, this will be a good test of the wind. Rick's first real set shot into the breeze.
Rendell.
Rendell. Gee, those two look alike.
Got 28 and 29. James Rendell, number 28, lining up for his first shot.
James Rendell. 40-degree angle. Kicks. Lets the wind just draw it back, and not quite enough, and not quite on the distance.
Fair attempt.
A great attempt. Through for their first behind. 2-1 plays 1-1 on the NG scoreboard. And the Technica time clock is 17 minutes into this first quarter.
What a
That kick almost went to the wing from the goal square. Now, we got a 50? No.
We saw Sam Frost last night with the torp. That one would certainly rival his.
So, Hamill, they get it forward. Cummings went without it. They'll butter up here, Sandy, and try and work it out of trouble. They'll chip it up. Down to a contest. Rendell at the front takes the mark. Just going to work it around the wing, you would expect. Or he's gone back. Gee, don't know about that. And the mark, another guy who played well last week, Josh Worrell. He's going to try and cross as well. Oh, gee. This tricky breeze today. They kicked almost to a contest, but nice mark by Jones. Did really well there.
He's had a good first quarter.
Took a strong mark, yep. and holds it up nicely. Churgwin takes the mark. They kick it down to the front. Over the back, well done, Marnie. Takes the mark, plays on, gives it across. He's got Burns. Burns, great effort to get it down towards inside 50. That was Churgwin who dribbles it forward. Dandy getting numbers back. And will play on to call. Well done, Burns gets it again. Over the top it goes. They're just dribbling it forward. Here's a dangerous one. Little dribble. Oh, that was a good attempt that time. Butler. Pretty sure that was Butler.
Sandringham wanting to play on at all costs. They take a mark and they are off.
That was an AFL Draft Central goal of the day attempt. Very, very close. Ball in the middle of the ground. Stingrays through Taylor. Casual. Does it by foot. Gives it to Sturt. He's dispossessed. Tries to chase after it again. Sandringham. Clever. Worrell. Goes in short. Spike. Back. Now Dandenong. They're going to set sail for home through Cottrell. Good spoil by the Dragons. They just don't take the footy. They kick it forward. It comes back. They're going to get a shot on goal. The big men fly, comes off hands and over the boundary line and out of bounds. 2-1 plays 1-2. 20 minutes in on the Technica time.
You'd think the long kick to the square is a better option than the short pass inside 50 at the moment with this breeze. Just get it up out of there and give it to a one-on-one in the square. Ball to be thrown in. Underneath it. Goes over the back. Shark nicely, Huswaite. Just gets a dribble kick forward. Not much in it. Oh, great work. Was that... picked that player up, but did beautifully on the left. And King comes down the ground again to help out. Burns takes the mark. Plays on. And Frawley just gets a fist on it. The ever-reliable Stenning comes through. They work it inside 50. Sturt's the target. Dangerous forward. They've kept it in, and I'd say that was almost out.
They've called it now.
And the goal umpire called that one.
Cool goal umpire.
Thought it was out.
It was Callum Jones with that wonderful blind turn. He's had a really good start to the game.
If I ever get a new nickname, Rick, I want it to be Ever Reliable. It's a great paddle back.
I'd rather the Brilliant.
Well, there's no danger of that, Rick. So. Ball thrown in, half forward flank, trying to get it out. Quick kick under a heap of pressure. Ball bouncing, Stingrays everywhere. Cottrell, he's collected, collared. Now Sandringham hacked the ball out. The race is on. Burns, he gets it. Turns back into trouble, finds Burke, goes back. It ain't clean, but I think it's effective. Might have been ridden into the dirt. They get it back out again. Now it's a kick to half forward. Williams, the big fly, but the man at the back of the pack's got it for Dandenong. His kick ain't that crash-hot. They're in the middle, double tackle, and the umpire will come in and ball this up. We're on centre wing, right on the centre square line. If the Dragons can hold this mob out, I think they'll be very, very happy boys at quarter time. Williams flies high, and that is going nowhere. Chewing up the minutes. We are 22.5 minutes in, and the umpires blow the whistle. They'll ball it up. They can't get it out of here. She goes. Good knock by Williams to foot. He can't pick it up. Now they work their way through heavy traffic, the Stingrays. Straighten up. Kick for goal. The man at the back, Bowman, can't take it. Sandringham, cool and calm in a crisis. Find Alistair Richards. Richards kicks to centre wing. They need a grab. It's punched over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Your boy Bedford there.
Yes.
Good burst through the pack.
He's certainly playing well. Definitely, he's got that explosive speed, really exciting, very agile. Sandringham Dragons' defence have done really well in this first quarter. They're working together really well as a unit.
Tapped over by Williams. Bit of a bobbling ball. Kicked out of trouble. Play on's the call. Half forward for Sandy. Oh, big hip and shoulder. Frawley gets it. Gives it off to Fletcher, who lost it. And gets tackled in the process, but didn't have full control of the ball.
One observation, Sandy have beaten Dandy at their own game.
You're
Yeah,
exactly right.
the little smothers and the tackles, and that's a good call. Williams just taps it out of bounds almost.
You'd also have to say that Sandringham are winning in the contest in the inside midfield area of this game. Been a bit tougher and a bit harder inside.
24 minutes into the first quarter on the Technica time clock. Two big ruckman. Rendell slaps it forward, but Williams sharks it. Little handball out into open space now. They'll kick it forward that time through Plumridge. And out of bounds. Has he had a bit of a trim of the feathers, Plumridge? That's thrown me right off. We'll just check him out. I reckon he's had been to the barber.
Short back and sides. Where is he? Number 3, isn't he?
Yeah. Definitely got a shorter haircut this week. Forward pocket. Ball drops short. They went tackled without the ball there, but another pack's formed. We're 40 metres out. 45 now. Dandenong attacking. And there is the siren for quarter time, where Dandenong 2-1-13 to Sandy in a great effort, 1-2-8. And that is a win to Sandy, I would say.
And the goal kickers, Siobhan?
1 goal to Ned Cale, 1 goal to Bailey Williams for the Dandenong Stingrays, and for the Sandringham Dragons, 1 goal to Jack Marnie.
Great quarter by the Dragons in against a pretty stiff breeze. We'll see how breeze is in the second quarter. This is TAC Cup Radio live streaming through the TAC Cup website.
Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years. Technica appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design, providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances, because like their customers, they want the very latest in innovation and quality. Technica, proud sponsor of the Northern Knights and TAC Cup Radio. Executive Maintenance has grown to be a preferred facility maintenance provider by maintaining excellence for over 25 years. A registered domestic and commercial building practitioner, Executive Maintenance provides facility maintenance for government, corporate, property and retail sectors. Whether it's a handyman for your corporate space or a fully qualified crew to manage your project, Executive Maintenance has the knowledge and expertise to provide a personal yet professional service. If you need assistance with your building maintenance needs, email admin@executivemaintenance.com.au. Executive Maintenance, a proud sponsor of TAC Cup Radio. Another year of TAC Cup football and your number one AFL draft site is back and bigger than ever. AdZ Media, powering AFL Draft Central, continues to revolutionise the way AFL draft content is reported. In 2018, the team has increased to more than 40 writers who will provide powerful and cutting-edge stories nationwide. With draft news, features and women's football coverage, AFL Draft Central is your one-stop shop for AFL draft content. Head to afldraftcentral.com.au or stay up to date with us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Check out at AFL Draft Central.
Cowboys Cash and Carry have the largest range of clothing bargains in the northern suburbs for the whole family. School wear and workwear has just arrived and is half the price you'd expect to pay at major stores. A family-run business, Cowboys Cash and Carry has new stock daily and 15,000 square feet of bargains. Come and see what the northern suburbs are raving about. Mention this ad and get 10% off their already cheap prices. Cowboys Cash and Carry, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown, open 7 days.
Essendon captain Heppel settles, and he's done it! He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun pup Cal Porter is looking good in his debut match. Gippsland Power generates footy legends, and NG is the power behind Gippsland Power. NG Hazelwood are proud to be helping tomorrow's future stars as major sponsor of Gippsland Power. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars. Go Power! Nixon Finance has been running in the Plenty Valley area of Greensborough for over 20 years. As your financial consultants and brokers, they specialise in all your equipment and vehicle finance needs. Home loans, business loans, commercial property loans. They deal with all the banks and get the right loan that suits your needs. Call Phil Smith during business hours on 9435 2600 or email nixonfinance@bigpond.com.
On taccup.com.au, this is TAC.
Back here at Icon Park, it's quarter time in preliminary final number 1. Quarter time score is Dandenong 2-1-13 to the Sandringham Dragons 1-2-8. You're down on the ground, Rick?
Yeah, Crooksy, just in the Dandenong huddle at the moment. They're just getting some instructions as we speak.
All right, give us a shout out when you're ready. And we've got, thanks to Anthony Stengetson from AFL Victoria, we've got some champion data stats for the first quarter.
Yes, I do. The leading possession winners for the Sandringham Dragons are Charlie Dean and James Rendell, both with 6 apiece. And for the Dandenong Stingrays, Jamie Plumridge on 5 disposals, with Campbell Husway not far behind on 4. 57 kicks to the Sandringham Dragons, to the Dandenong Stingrays 34 in that first quarter, and surprisingly enough, Sandringham leading inside 50s.
Which is a bit of an unusual one, isn't it? Going how the breeze is. Just trying to spot Rick up. How close are you to the pack, Rick? Too close.
And our pressure,
A bit hard to talk at this stage. Well, we've said this for years on TAC Cup Radio. We don't like to go too early on the first quarter. It's like a cricket team. You've got to have 2 innings and see how the other team bats on this wicket and kicking to the line on the street end. But you would imagine the length of some of those kicks that it's got to be harder going in to the breeze to the Royal Court. Some of the players that stood out for me, most of them stood out for me, were on the Sandringham team. I was just really just impressed with the way they went about it. A couple of guys I don't know a lot about is Callum Jones. I thought he was terrific in across half back, got plenty of kicks and mopped up a lot. It was always the when they wanted to switch play, he was very good. Jack Denborough, seen a bit of his work over the last few weeks. I think the Dragons are very, very happy with themselves. As Craig Black still speaking to the team. Just hear him in the background. Anyone else come out of those sets?
Ben King is up to 4 marks, because he was marking everything in the first few minutes of that first quarter. Also, just a quick update, Sandringham have had 5 inside 50s to the Stingrays 10 inside 50s. So it's the other way around, which isn't surprising because the Sandringham Dragons defence really stood out as the main reason why they're playing so well in this first quarter. They've held up really well when the ball has gone inside 50.
Down on the ground, Rick.
Yep. I've got Craig Black here, coach of Dandenong Stingrays, Crooksy. Craig, 13 inside 50s, you got it down there, just not enough on the scoreboard just yet.
No, I think just our ball movement wasn't great, so a bit rushed. I think that's what finals does, doesn't it? Everyone's a bit rattled with a bit of breeze. They probably took it long, and we need a bit better effort when we get the ball in the forward line as well. Multiple efforts down there, multiple stoppage will probably be a bit better.
How are you going to use it into this breeze?
I think we just back what we do, try and use the hit up and try and run and carry the footy and just defend really well.
Fantastic, mate. Good luck in the second quarter. Thanks.
Good on you, Rick. And just as the teams realign and supporters and staff leave the ground, got a couple of great interviews today. Emma Quayle is coming up here at half-time. We'll be talking about all things recruitment. She's with the GWS and has been after she left the age a couple of years ago. It'll be very interesting to see what the recruiters are looking for in this crop and the bottom age crop and the under 16 work their way through. And we're back in the middle, second quarter. Action about to take off here from Icon Park. Up they go, Rendell and Williams, no one gets it. Sandringham get a clearing kick through Stocker. Kick up forward. Intercept mark for Dandenong. Comes over the back. Could be a collision. Good work by Sandringham. Wheels around. Jones, the one we were talking about. Good footy. King lays off the handball to Stocker, who sets sail for home. That was a gettable goal. Very gettable goal, and that's the first score of the second half. That moves them on to 1 goal 3-9. Dandenong are 2 goals 1-13, and we're not even 40 seconds in to this first quarter. Ball comes to half-back. Huswaite trapped, and the umpire will come in and ball this up.
One interesting stat at quarter time was the hitouts of 5-18 in advantage of the Dandenong Stingrays. So Cumming doing a really good job in the ruck when he is in there.
Ball gets kicked to centre wing. There's a little bit of jumper holding there. And the mark is taken by Sam Sturt. He's come to light in the last month or so. Sammy, the left footer, kicks up to half forward. Finds foot. Foot by foot is smothered. Sandringham jump on it. Release by hand. Get it across. They're sort of just handballing forward and hoping. Caught in a tackle. And that's going nowhere. Half forward flank right in front of the, it's called the Legend, it's still a part of the Legend stand now. It used to be the old John Elliott stand. Big kick forward by Harry Reynolds. It's going to land on 50. Lovely mark taken there by Dandenong, and it's taken by Daniel Frampton. Frampton comes alive, kicks to the middle of the ground. They go inboard. McDonald streaming down the ground. Sandringham just need to get boot to ball. They do. Wanting to make this a bit of a stoppage if they can. Danny got some numbers. Now they've got the footy. They spit it out wide. Sweeping handball to Bedford. He's caught in a tackle, dispossessed, and holding the ball, says the umpire. He's on half back inside defensive 50. He looks across. I think he wants to switch. He's told to play on. And that was Kai Owens. They go in short again. They're a patient team, Sandringham. Play to a plan. Now they're going to switch play. It's a dirty, big, long kick. Mark taken by Corey Watts. Watts goes in short. Hits up Callum Jones. Jones kicks across the 50. He's got Owens. They zigzag back the other way. Reynolds. They've got the overlap if they can get it, but no, they don't. Cale goes deep. He's looking for Bowman. It beats both players. It's one-on-one, man-on-man. Bowman gets it. Wheels around. Kicks a banana. No left foot. Brings down rain, and Harry Reynolds punches it through for a behind. That moves them on to 2-2-14 to 1-3-9 on the NG scoreboard. 3.5 minutes in on the Technica time clock.
They'll get it out straight away to Callum Jones, who's been very good so far for Sandy. They'll switch it again. They like using the footy and switching wide. Watts, he'll go to the back pocket there. Long kick, that time through Burke, down towards a contested half-back. Sharked away by Stocker, gets it down towards centre wing. Over the top, Garn should mop up here. He grabs it, runs into trouble, but gets out of it easy enough, and then handballs it out of bounds to Hamill.
Sandringham putting Dandenong under a great amount of pressure, which is forcing them to turn the footy over. And if they don't turn the footy over, certainly hesitate before they actually dispose of the ball. So the pressure's been right up in this game for Sandringham.
Ball to be thrown in. Sun shining over Melbourne City. Oh, that was a big knock to the head that time. That was Fletcher that went down. Accidental. In a bit of trouble. We'll have a ball up. Going for the footy, both players, and he copped a stray forearm. Accidental. Ball to be thrown up. Williams went without it. Kicked off the ground. It's in Sandy's forward 50. Be mopped up nicely that time by Frampton, who goes wide, out of side. Good work by Hamill. Barges through, gives it to Williams, who gets tackled by Rendell. And he paid no prior. I didn't think there was a lot of prior in it. But he's given the free kick.
My boy Rendell playing really well in this game.
He did very well there and kicks to a contest. Over the back, Matthew Cummings. Hands it off. Gets to McDonald. Goes to Reardon. Reardon pops it up. Over the back it goes. They'll spoil again, Sandy. Good little flick out. Lovely stuff to Bedford on the burst. He gives it across to Foot, who a little toe poke further afield. Goes inside 50. They spin it out to Bedford. Beautiful handball to Foot. He's going to kick under pressure, but brings it back beautifully with the breeze and puts it through into the breeze for a good goal.
An AFL Draft Central goal of the day, clubhouse leader for mine, Rick. That moves them on to 3 goals to 20. They lead at the Sandringham Dragons 1 goal 3-9.
Magnificent passage of play from the Stingrays. All started with Lachlan McDonald keeping the ball in play here on the wing. Absolutely fantastic. That's the type of footy I think they'd be wanting to play, and Sandringham have stopped them from playing that really quick run and gun footy where they hit a target, and Zach Foot finished off really nicely.
We are 7 minutes into the second term here on TAC Cup Radio as Stocker gets the ball out. It's bobbling around. Now they've got a chance here, Sandringham. Great work, great goal, good teamwork. The handball, Rick, came from Sherwin or Reynolds?
I think it was Darcy Sherwin.
And the goal kicked by?
I had my eyes on him.
I think it was Jack Marnie kicking his second. Coming in. I'll give it to him just at the moment. That tightens it up. 2-3 plays 3-2. There's 5 points of difference.
I've got my eye on Stamatis, but we'll go with it. In the middle, they've got Stenning in there now. Gets it out. Well, no, it wasn't Stenning. Play on's the call. They'll kick inside 50. Up they go. Juggling attempt. Not taken.
Ooh, bit of
handballs to himself. The umpires let it go. It's right on the 50-metre mark. Stenning goes without it. Players crashing in from everywhere, and we'll have a ball up, 50 metres out. Sandy attacking with the breeze.
It was a great response from the Sandringham Dragons. All started by Liam Stocker in the middle, who got the clearance. He's been really damaging around the midfield, especially in this circumstance.
There he goes again, but gets tackled this time and gets pinged holding the ball.
Ooh. Didn't have
as long
much
as they're
prior.
consistent with it, they've played 2 now. Ball spoiled right underneath the commentary box. They tap it out of bounds eventually, and we'll have a throw in. Huswaite comes on the ground, been a bit quiet so far.
Hey, I would have thought he was. He had about 4 or 5 possessions, they said, at quarter time, but I can remember calling him once.
Ball to be thrown in, thumped away that time by Kennedy. Oh, there they go through Reynolds. Dribbles it down to
well done.
Full forward, but it'll be cleared and kicked long. This will be a big marking contest.
Wow.
Foot, brilliant. Class player. Gets it to Boot. Tried to play on a bit too early. Worrell with the handover. Oh, big bump on the boundary line. Right in the huddle. Probably not the place to be crashing into each other.
Bit of argy, bit of bargy.
Right on the interchange bench.
Solid bump,
And
certainly
I think
woke
that was
him
a
up.
fair bump.
Fair bump.
I don't know why they get all narky about it when fair bump.
Worry us.
Nothing to worry about there.
Gets the blood flowing. Ball thrown in. Bit of holding. You got to bring it back. One of Pete the Personal's favourite free kicks, the 2 ruckmen. Hello to Pete the Personal if he's getting ready to go see his Magpies tonight. Will Kennedy looks up forward. Oh, Puts in the short one to Stocker, but just forgets to tell him he's going to kick it to him. Now the
Another
ball's in
solid bump
dispute. They
lead.
might get away with this. Dandenong, swarm on it. Cottrell can't take it. Solid bump. We're inside the centre square. And the umpire will ball it up.
Fletcher coming off that earlier knock just barged through a pack there and got cleaned up again. Still a bit iffy, but great play, Sam Fletcher. And just runs into a boot as we speak. Eventually it goes down towards Stenning. He paddles it in front. They get it out. Stenning. Good work with the handoff. And Huswaite boots it forward into the centre of the ground. Carl was the target. They bring it to ground. Umpire lets them sort it out. Goes back in ball. Oh, great handball. Eventually it comes to Worrell. He can't break away. Dandy trying to get numbers around the ball, but eventually it'll be a beautiful chip pass out of there and finds Butler. Butler, he's 60 out. I'd be nearly having a shot from there. Kicks it to the square. Ball's in dispute, but eventually it just falls up and sits nicely, and King kicks the goal.
Not the type of goals we'd expect from Ben King, but good enough, again, showing why he's so good as a footballer, that he can kick those crumbing goals as well as take those big marks. And again, great response from Sandringham. They're playing really well.
That is their third goal, Ben King's first. They move on to 3-3-21 to the Dandenong Stingrays 3-2-20, and we are approaching 12 minutes in. Butler, Rick, I can't find him. Where is he?
64.
Ah, got him. Good get. Lewis, as they get the ball out. Here's a big mark. Here he is, that man, Butler. Can't quite grab it. He should get the handball. He doesn't. They kick it backwards.
Good option.
The mark is taken.
Plenty of players free on the wing.
They can square you be.
This is all Dandenong. Oh, Rick, what did you think of that?
Just mark the ball.
Dear, oh dear. Cottrell, they've got the numbers and they can get out of safety, but they're going to hit a dragon wall here, and the mark is taken by Jones.
Having a great game of footy, Callum Jones.
Jones on the wing. Kicks and 65-metre kick. Oh, but over. They've gone the spoil. That's the second time the Dandenong defenders have misread the length of the kick and allowed Sandringham over the back. And this time Shergwin takes a nice mark. Darcy Shergwin.
Good size, 190 centimetres.
So he'll kick. Yeah, he's playing a good game. Kicking from 20 metres out. 45-degree angle. You could kick this blindfolded most days. And he comes in and puts it through.
Beautiful.
They are on fire here, Sandringham. 4-3-27 to 3-2-20. They've taken the lead, and that is on the NG scoreboard. And we are 13 minutes in to this second quarter on the Technica time clock.
Well done, Darcy Shergwin. I think they're aware that Ben King will probably be double teamed, and most people will have their eyes on him, but he's providing another option in that forward line and playing really, really well. If he's not marking himself, he's bringing the ball to ground. And Sandringham, what a quarter they're playing.
Few alarm bells at Dandenong. Slung, ball release, Sandringham. It's a hacking kick forward by Dandenong, inside forward 50. Now we've got Ned Cale, who kicks a pie floater, and that is over the boundary line and out of bounds on the full.
Again, he was hot, and that's perceived pressure is just as good as
the real stuff.
Real pressure.
All right, we've got Josh Worrell to bring the ball back in. Goes in short to Alastair Richards. Richards, a bounce. Gets around, stumbles. Handballs. Good work. They're flirting with it a bit. They kick into the middle. It's going to come back quicker than what it went out. They need a mark. Williams met solidly. Coming over the back. The ball's in dispute. Inside forward 50 for Dandenong. No one can lay claim to it yet. Comes out. And holding the ball, says the umpire.
Yeah, they've been hot with it today, haven't they?
Ned Cale.
He's looked really lively in that forward line.
Okay. Ned Cale.
A little bit right to left this kick, you'd imagine.
Might be into the teeth of it. Just making sure he gets the distance.
Be definitely right to left from our side, but he's just
there. Might be going straight
almost directly in front.
Good kick of the footy.
So you have one against the momentum. Off 2 steps. That's how you do it. Ned Cale. That's his 2nd goal of the day. And that moves Dandenong back to 4 goals to 26. To Sandringham, 4 goals, 3-27 on the NG scoreboard, and we're approaching 16 minutes on the Technica time clock.
You mentioned it. It's certainly one against the run of play and a well-needed one for the Dandenong Stingrays. We haven't said that many times this year, but Sandringham have probably had majority of the possession around the ground, but Dandenong good enough to take one back.
Back in the middle. They're definitely not overawed by this Dandenong side, Sandringham. They keep coming. Big thump away. McDonald trying to win possession, but the party was upset that time. And great work underneath it there, Marnie. So we'll have a ball up, tap to the front. Little kick out of trouble. Good work, Sandringham. They get it out to Kennedy. Kennedy on the wing to Denborough. Oh, the kicks, he's pickpocketed that time. That was Hamill who's getting involved. Reardon with a thumping handball over the back. Out towards Sturt. Sturt with the nice left foot, kicks it out, and that was beautifully weighted. And a nice mark to Bedford. He's a classy mover, that Sam Sturt. He's got I'd say he's nearly got the best foot in the competition, Sam Sturt.
Who would you liken him to, Rick?
Gee, he's got a long left leg, but he's also very precise.
Do you think he's a bit like a Tom Lynch from Adelaide, sort of that link-up player?
No, we've got to look for a left footer there, Siobhan. That's a classy player. Crooksy will try and drag someone from the 1970s, but we'll try and keep it current.
Through for a behind.
So Bedford with the miss there.
And she's all tied up, 4-3 apiece, 27. As we march ever closer to half-time, 18 minutes in.
Low-scoring game, but a high-quality game, and we've got a close one on our hands as well.
Sandringham go in short, looking for Worrell. He's dispossessed. Sturt flips one over the back to Bedford, who goes bang. Straight through the middle.
Right up for it.
Toby Bedford. That is their 3rd goal of the quarter. They move on to 5-3-33 to 4-3-27, and just past the 18-minute mark. They just set it up on Josh Worrell then. And
I think there's a free kick or something's going on down in that forward line of the Stingrays. Bit of niggle.
Move it on, boys. Move it on. Keep playing.
Back in the middle, up they go. Bowman with the leap. Sharked away by Huswaite. Does well to get a boot on it. Down towards half forward. Awkward bounce. Opens it up a little bit with the handball around 50, but Sandringham get the numbers back to hold them out. And we're 51 metres out from Sandringham's goal.
Starting to get on top in the midfield, the Stingrays. Mids like Huswaite and Sam Fletcher, and that's why the ball's going inside 50, giving them a better chance to score.
Just towards the pocket. Awkward bounce again, and out of bounds it goes.
We are 19 and a half minutes in to this second term. Half time, we're going to be speaking to Emma Quayle from the GWS Giants, form of the age, great author. You might have a chance to talk to her about it as well. Tap down, Bowman to Plumridge, and again over the boundary line and out of bounds. Interesting game of footy. I don't think we saw this coming.
No, Dandenong have scored into the breeze, so they'll be happy with that.
Sandringham probably do need to get 1 or 2 before the half-time break. as there's a quick snap-on goal, and that is out of bounds on the full. Sandringham to bring the footy back in. And it's a short kick that worries me. They go out wide. Jones liked his game, Callum Jones. Jones gets a bit of help on the mark. Kicks to centre wing. Comes over the back. Good hand, slipped over, inopportune time. They see the ball over the boundary line and out of bounds.
So half forward for Dandenong. They seem to be just steadying here, Dandenong. Getting, they've kicked 3 goals into the breeze. Bowman taps it forward, kicked by Reardon down towards the gymnasium pocket, and out of bounds it goes. Yeah, they'll be happy with that conversion, 3 goals into this breeze, while Dandy have kicked 3 goals with it. So, sorry, Sandy have kicked 3 goals with it.
Good quarter of footy.
So, if they can pinch a goal here, they'd be pretty pleased, Dandenong. Tapped over by Cummins. Slapped forward. Round the 50-metre mark it goes. We'll have a ball up this time.
Good to see Liam Soccer back on the ground. Left the ground a bit earlier to get his shoulder retaped.
So the ball up at 50. Tapped towards half forward. Kicked up in the air, inside 50, up they go and out of bounds. See if you can clear that arc, Crooksy.
Goal the difference. Shadows of half-time. Good preliminary final. Following this, it'll be the Gippy Power and the Oakley Chargers. And the grand final.
Looking forward to that game.
Yeah, be a ripper.
A grand final berth awaits.
In she comes. Cummings worked underneath it by Rendell. Sandringham get it out. They worry me, Rick, when they do that. Forbes. Plumridge in for Dandenong. Just shovels the ball out. It's close to the boundary. Might have been caught too high. And the free kick will go to Dandenong.
It has been a game plan of Sandringham for a number of years, that switching across that back pocket.
Yeah.
They trust their ball movement.
Toby Bedford, hard up in the forward pocket. This will be a cracking goal, Rick. He's going to... No, don't blame him on this one, Rick. That's a good move. Bedford kicks it around the corner. They like it. You can hear it. The Dandenong boys are all over it. And that is Toby Bedford's second goal. They're 4th for the quarter. They move on to 6-3-39 to 4-3-27. They lead by 12 points on the NG scoreboard. And we're 23 and a half minutes in on the Technica time clock.
AFL Draft Central goal of the day for mine, that one.
Clubhouse leader.
Yeah, that's the leader. Brilliant execution there of the snap. And that's when it should be used. I think it's gone overboard in footy these days.
That's about the 25-metre mark out.
Definite advantage there with that kick. So Dandy coming forward again. It's all Dandy at the minute. Into this breeze, they really put their best foot forward this quarter.
Huswaite been busy in the last few minutes of this second term.
Big jump by Bowman. Taps it down. They'll kick it, dribble it forward. Rendell pokes it towards half forward now. There's their chance through King. He gives it across to Burns. Back to King. Taken that time by McGuinness, who'll go to a contest. Over the back, Denborough slaps it forward with a nice hand off to Stamatis. He dribbles it. Here's an opportunity. Churgwin goes to dribbler, puts it through.
Wacko the diddle-o.
Fantastic reply from the Sandringham Dragons. That's exactly what they needed to do, and it was brilliantly executed by Darcy Churgwin.
With 20 seconds to go, Darcy Churgwin puts through his second and moves Sandringham on to 5-3-33. They trail by the solitary goal, 6-3-39.
So will they make anything of it? No, didn't get a chance. So that is half-time. We'll just repeat those scores. 6-3, 39 Dandenong. Sandringham 3-33. 1 goal the difference here at half-time in preliminary final number 1 here at Icon Park, and we'll have the goal kickers, please, Siobhan.
Multiple goals, 2 goals to Toby Bedford and Ned Cale for the Dandenong Stingrays, and singles to Zach Foote and Bailey Williams. And for the Sandringham Dragons, multiple goals, 2 goals to Jack Marnie and Darcy Chergwin, and 1 to Ben King.
Fantastic stuff. We will take a break and be back on the other side of this. This is TAC Cup Radio, streaming live through the TAC Cup website.
Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years. Technica appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design, providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances, because like their customers, they want the very latest in innovation and quality. Technica, proud sponsor of the Northern Knights and TAC Cup Radio.
Cowboys Cash and Carry have the largest range of clothing bargains in the northern suburbs for the whole family. Schoolwear and workwear has just arrived and is half the price you would expect to pay at major stores. A family-run business, Cowboys Cash and Carry has new stock daily and 15,000 square feet of bargains. Come and see what the northern suburbs are raving about. Mention this ad and get 10% off their already cheap prices. Cowboys Cash and Carry, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown, open 7 days.
Executive Maintenance has grown to be a preferred facility maintenance provider by maintaining excellence for over 25 years. A registered domestic and commercial building practitioner, Executive Maintenance provides facility maintenance for government, corporate, property and retail sectors. Whether it's a handyman for your corporate space or a fully qualified crew to manage your project, Executive Maintenance has the knowledge and expertise to provide a personal yet professional service. If you need assistance with your building maintenance needs, email admin@executivemaintenance.com.au. Executive Maintenance, a proud sponsor of TAC Cup Radio. Another year of TAC Cup football and your number 1 AFL draft site is back and bigger than ever. AdZ Media, powering AFL Draft Central, continues to revolutionise the way AFL draft content is reported. In 2018, the team has increased to more than 40 writers who will provide powerful and cutting-edge stories nationwide. With draft news, features and women's football coverage, AFL Draft Central is your one-stop shop for AFL draft content. Head to afldraftcentral.com.au or stay up to date with us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Check out at AFL Draft Central. Essendon captain Heppel settles, and he's done it! He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun pup Cal Porter is looking good in his debut match. Gippsland Power generates footy legends, and NG is the power behind Gippsland Power. NG Hazelwood are proud to be helping tomorrow's future stars as major sponsor of Gippsland Power. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars. Go Power! Nixon Finance has been running in the Plenty Valley area of Greensborough for over 20 years. As your financial consultants and brokers, they specialise in all your equipment and vehicle finance needs. Home loans, business loans, commercial property loans. They deal with all the banks and get the right loan that suits your needs. Call Phil Smith during business hours on 9435 2600 or email nixonfinance@bigpond.com.
On taccup.com.au, this is TAC Cup Radio.
Back here at Icon Park, it is half-time in the first preliminary final. Dandenong holds sway 6-3-39 to Sandringham 5-3-33. And we're lucky enough to have Emma Quayle, formerly the Age. And now, what's your official title at the Giants, Emma?
Just a recruiting officer, I suppose. One of the crew at the Giants, trying to find some players.
How many in the team?
We have, what do we have? We have 6 of us in Melbourne, and then we have a couple of guys interstate as well, helping out in WA and SA. So we've got a pretty good spread across the country these days.
Sort of see. So one of the reasons we wanted to get you on today is each week throughout the season when we go to all the different grounds, especially sort of like a Rams arena, I'd like to be selling. The Bunnings does a great job on the fishing chairs and the clipboards from Officeworks, and they all sit there by themselves and they're writing stuff down. What are they writing? What are they looking for?
What are you looking for? There's many things. Obviously, you're looking like in an overall perspective at their talent, the things that they can do and do well. The physical attributes, I suppose, they have. Are they quick? Can they cover the ground and run? Can they jump? All those sorts of things. So you want to tick off on that list. And then you do all that, obviously, on game day and decide whether you think that they can do the things that they do at the next level up when it all gets a bit harder. And then, beyond that, you've got to check them out as kids and make sure they check out as characters, I suppose, and are people that you could see succeeding if you bring them into your club environment.
So, and we're not here to get the intel off you from the Giants, but how long have you been tracking some of the guys that may be playing in this match here?
Well, obviously a lot of them played last year as bottom majors, so I find from my personal experience as bottom majors, you sort of watch what they do and take it in, but you don't analyse them too particularly. You wait until they get to their top age year to really hone in on the things that they can do and the things that might need some work. So probably just as soon as the practice matches start, you're watching them. I went away at the start of the year with the AFL Academy group that was in Florida, so that was a good chance to see them train and mingle with each other and just get a sense of, who the really professional kids were and all those sorts of things. So took some intel out of that. But yeah, as soon as balls start getting kicked, I suppose you're looking and watching to see what they can do.
Are you looking for what they can do, or you're trying to highlight what they can't do?
No, I don't think it's what they can't do, but probably areas that can improve. And then once you've identified those, I guess you try and work out, well, if they come into an AFL club and they're getting coaching at a whole new level to what they're used to and they're doing it every single day, will they be able to improve those areas? So that's probably what we do. You've got to be careful you don't watch them too closely. I find in the first couple of viewings you really notice the good things, and then once you start watching them 4, 5, 6 times, there's this tendency to start looking, or not looking for holes, but just seeing them. So by the time you've watched someone 10 times, you just want to be careful that you're not being too nitpicky and just looking for flaws rather than appreciate, I suppose, their talent and the things that they do well.
So even the elite make mistakes and have deficiencies. No one's perfect as they sort of go through. Is there anything that the players can do today which will put a line through them or put a tick next to their name?
I don't think so, although, we've got such a broad picture of them to this point. I like finals because, especially if they're close games, you can see who does things under pressure when the result really, really matters. And, and there's a spot in the grand final on the line. So I'm looking forward to seeing how the second half plays out here to see who puts their stamp on the game. I guess the pressure just rises, and so who can thrive under that pressure and who perhaps can't cope as well. That's probably the main thing. But yeah, as I said, we've watched them so many times now. We know what they can and can't do. It's just that final little few percent, I suppose.
Do you get the intel on players that understand instruction, understand the setups and all that kind of stuff, as opposed to the kid that can just get a kick and take a mark and kick a long goal?
Yeah, absolutely. That's where it's important for us to, I guess, do our work in the background and talk to the coaches as much as we can to find out what they've been instructed to do. And then you get a sense of whether they're actually doing the things that they've been asked and told to do. And they'll give us a good insight into the kids' coachability. Do they listen to instruction? Can they take it in and go and implement it? Or do they perhaps struggle with that a little bit? And then, if that's the case, you want to know a little bit more about teaching styles, how they like to learn. Do they like to be talked to? Do they like to see things drawn up for them? There's all sorts of things that you can find out that help you understand the footballer as sort of a whole person.
When you interview, I think we're advantaged. We get to meet and interview the players like we're doing with you now, most half times throughout the year, especially when Metro's on, they're not playing, that we try and get to talk to them.
Yep.
And there's some players that we're really taken by, and I think there's a boy played last night called Sam, he's not a boy anymore, Sam Wiedemann, that I remember Rick and I interviewed 4 or 5 years ago out at Box Hill when he'd hurt his knee, and you just wouldn't meet a nicer young man, and he came in and he asked us, can I go get you something from the canteen? Well, because I know you can't leave. And then he stayed around and spoke to us. And so he made a pretty big impression on us. And it wasn't false. He was a genuine sort of a guy. Do you look for that in kids?
Yeah, they're all different. I like to go and meet them early on in the year when they haven't been interviewed by multiple clubs, so that you get that more genuine, genuine sense of who they are. But they're all different. They're very open at this age. They're not sort of overtrained.
Yep.
I think they give you really honest responses if you ask the right questions. So I enjoy it too, and yeah, it is nice, isn't it, to get to know them at that age and then follow them through.
And we're lucky. There's a few of them we keep in contact through Twitter and messaging, and wish them luck when they get drafted and all that kind of stuff. And you can, there's a few. I remember Jade Gresham, texting back to me an hour after he got drafted, and I thought, gee, mate, that's pretty big.
Yeah.
Like, to think of that, that's a pretty good thing to have, I would have thought.
Oh, absolutely. And I realised that last year doing this job, like, just what a big deal it is to for these kids to wait through this whole year and play this much football and talk to all these clubs and do all the testing they do, and just waiting for that one little moment on draft night when hopefully their name gets called out. So, yeah, it's a pretty big buzz for them.
You mentioned the combine and the testing. Does that play much of a part for you?
Oh, a little bit, yeah. Obviously, last year was my first combine in a club capacity. We had a massive day of interviews on the opening day where we spoke to a lot of kids, probably some of them for the second, third time. So that was important. And then you gather all the information from the testing, and once again, it just probably forms part of that whole picture. Once you've watched them play, you've met them, you've spoken to the people around them, you've met the parents, you've had all the psych reports come in. The physical testing is just another little box that you have a look at.
Just to see where they're at.
Yep.
What about the move to the Greater Western Sydney area?
I'm still in Melbourne.
You're still there,
Yes,
but the
I'm still
boys
in
won't be.
No, that's true. So that's something that we've got to try and figure out. And obviously you can never know for sure. But once again, it's just research. I think if you speak to as many people as you can who know them, you'll just get a sense of whether you think they'll be able to cope and push through when things get hard and they don't have that immediate support network around them of their family and friends. But we have a pretty good setup up there. I think we have a good balance of sort of encouraging the boys to grow and be independent and learn to do things for themselves pretty much as soon as they get up there. But there's just a really strong sort of welfare system that we have in place that helps them through. Things do get a little bit tough, but no doubt it's a challenge. But I think, more and more it's just something that they grow up thinking that might be a strong possibility to happen, given that there are so many clubs outside
of Victoria. Yeah. So I don't know if this is a strategy. I could be just making this up. But after Brisbane had those players like Yao and everyone leave the club, I thought they strategised well, getting McCluggage and Jared Berry, who played together, played school footy together, were great mates for the Rebels. I think there's about half a dozen Geelong Falcons boys over a number of years that are sort of all together that know each other. Is that a strategy that the non-Victorian teams would ever use, or is it just coincidence?
I think it's really helpful, provided that you're convinced of the player's talent. You wouldn't want to bring somebody in who just to be like someone's best mate. I think you have to be sold on on the idea that they can play and be good for you. But it probably is just a nice little bonus if they have those connections and can come in knowing someone and feeling comfortable that if something is worrying them, they have got someone that they know and that they're close to that they can talk to about it.
Now, this was before we knew, when we thanked Lee Fraser for organising you, Emma. I should have thought of you first. Driving home from last Sunday, I was listening to the Northern Footy League results just to catch up with what had happened.
As you do.
And as you do, because they were pretty one-sided here. And West Preston had kicked, I think, 9 or 10 goals in the last quarter to beat Bundoora. And second best on the ground was a guy called Patrick Vespremi for West Preston. I thought, I've got to go to the bookshelf when I get home. I'm pretty sure he was one of your players, which I eventually looked at.
Yep.
And just by coincidence, Cochin and Ben McAvoy had played on the Friday night as well in a qualifying final. So you picked well then. And just for the record, Cyril Rioli and Brett Ebert. As well.
Two. So I'm glad Pat's enjoying his footy and enjoying life at the moment. He had like 6 years in the AFL system and it didn't work for him. But I just like that he's enjoying playing the game
and he's an old West Preston boy, and they're I don't know how much you know about the Northern Footy League, but they're a bit of a cult club themselves. You know, they've got a lot of blokes that are. There's been a few blokes. I think Robbo played for West Preston for a little while, so they're. I was really pleased to hear him do it. And,
absolutely. So am I.
Sard kicked 10, I think, last week for them, so they're going okay. And no idea of that's almost, is that 10 years ago, 11 years ago?
Yeah, it was the 2007 draft, wasn't it? Or 2008, even I've forgotten. 2007, so that's a while ago now.
They're coming towards the end of their careers. It might be an interesting follow-up book.
I'll have to go back to it one day, see if I can talk to them into one last update. But
see where it is.
They've all had good careers and interesting careers, and bit of success along the way, which is good for them.
It'd be interesting. I'd love to know your other book, The Draftees, which was about 3 or 4 years ago. You had some good ones here. Isaac Heaney, Jake Lever, been at 2 clubs now.
Yep.
Peter Wright up at the Gold Coast.
Yep.
I'm interested in the Gold Coast Suns because the Giants and the Suns, you're the 2 mobs that are, you're the new guys on the block. And I thought, 6 or 7 years ago, people were predicting the Suns would be the team, the Giants are a long way behind, and that clearly ain't the case.
Yeah, I think, it's been an interesting, they're 2 tough markets, aren't they, for different reasons to break into and establish yourself. So that's probably the challenge that both clubs have had, not only putting together a team, but building up sport off the field as well. It's tough when players just are consistently leaving, so hopefully they can put a stop to that and get some guys up there and have them come through together, which I think they will do. They've got some good people in place, so I'm sure that'll happen. We're going to have that challenge constantly, I suppose, in Sydney to keep our group together as well. So that's something we've got to be vigilant about every single year.
Just before we leave, your old friend Kevin Sheedy put the call out. I've answered the call. I'm a Giant tonight. Yeah, it wasn't hard. It wasn't a hard one to take up. I promise you, Emma. Yeah, because you've got a lot to do with the other team. How do you think the boys will go tonight?
I think they'll go pretty well, provided that we do the things that we can do well. I think we match up pretty well against Collingwood, and our midfield was fantastic last week. Really got on top of the Swans, who are hard to get on top of in there. So if they can do that again, that'll help us out a lot. And I think we're pretty solid in all parts of the ground. Josh Kelly's obviously a huge loss, but we've shown some resilience this year and fought through some difficult times at various stages. So hopefully the boys are up for it tonight. I hope we can win.
They'll be the only ones barracking for Collingwood are in black and white. Everyone else is charcoal and tangerine, as far as I'm concerned. All right, Emma, thanks for taking time out today. Good luck for you're coming into your big part of the year for you.
Yeah, it'll get busy now, so that's the
When's your first pick? What's your first pick?
Oh, it depends where we finish.
Finish, yeah. So be the teens this year?
Pick. Yeah, or somewhere in the teens. Hopefully it's late teens. And then we'll see what happens in the trade
hopefully
period
it's pick 19 or 20
that'd
with
be
all
nice,
the priority picks.
Yeah, that'd be good.
All right, we'll take a break. It is half-time. The teams are back out. We'll be back for the second half here on TAC Up Radio.
Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years. Technica appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design, providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances, because like their customers, they want the very latest in innovation and quality. Technica, proud sponsor of the Northern Knights and TAC Cup Radio. Executive Maintenance has grown to be a preferred facility maintenance provider by maintaining excellence for over 25 years. A registered domestic and commercial building practitioner, Executive Maintenance provides facility maintenance for government, corporate, property and retail sectors. Whether it's a handyman for your corporate space or a fully qualified crew to manage your project, Executive Maintenance has the knowledge and expertise to provide a personal yet professional service. If you need assistance with your building maintenance needs, email admin@executivemaintenance.com.au. Executive Maintenance, a proud sponsor of TAC Cup Radio. Another year of TAC Cup football and your number one AFL draft site is back and bigger than ever. AdZ Media, powering AFL Draft Central, continues to revolutionise the way AFL draft content is reported. In 2018, the team has increased to more than 40 writers who will provide powerful and cutting-edge stories nationwide. With draft news, features and women's football coverage, AFL Draft Central is your one-stop shop for AFL draft content. Head to afldraftcentral.com.au or stay up to date with us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Check out at AFL Draft Central.
Cowboys Cash and Carry have the largest range of clothing bargains in the northern suburbs for the whole family. Schoolwear and workwear has just arrived and is half the price you would expect to pay at major stores. A family-run business, Cowboys Cash and Carry has new stock daily and 15,000 square feet of bargains. Come and see what the northern suburbs are raving about. Mention this ad and get 10% off their already cheap prices. Cowboys Cash and Carry, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown, open 7 days.
Essendon captain Heppel settles, and he's done it. He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun pup Cal Porter is looking good in his debut match. Gippsland Power generates footy legends, and NG is the power behind Gippsland Power. NG Hazelwood are proud to be helping tomorrow's future stars as major sponsor of Gippsland Power. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars. Go Power! Nixon Finance has been running in the Plenty Valley area of Greensborough for over 20 years. As your financial consultants and brokers, they specialise in all your equipment and vehicle finance needs. Home loans, business loans, commercial property loans. They deal with all the banks and get the right loan that suits your needs. Call Phil Smith during business hours on 9435 2600 or email nixonfinance@bigpond.com.
On taccup.com.au, this is TAC Cup Radio.
Back here at Icon Park, just got underway, and thanks to Emma Quayle, fantastic to have her here today and get some GWS insight. And the weather's turned a bit. There's a few big gusts of wind, and it's got a little bit greyer. It's not looking all that good, but the third quarter has just started. And the ball is in Dandenong's Sandringham's forward line. There's a quick kick forward. They're half a chance here. Can they get boot to ball? No, they can't. Gets still not rushed over the boundary line. And the ball will be thrown in forward pocket. There you go.
Just some quick stats to halftime. Inside 50s are 19 apiece. Hitouts 17 to Dandenong, 27 to Sandringham, so they turned that around at quarter time. 163 disposals overall for Sandringham, 143 to Dandenong, so Sandringham having more possessions and more control of the footy. Leading disposal winner on the ground for Sandringham, Callum Jones with 13 disposals and 7 marks, and for the Stingrays, Sam Fletcher with 13 disposals.
Right, kick out. The wind has really sprung up. Dandenong. I think I've just lost my sheet there. There we go. Dandenong kick it to half forward. Bedford just sees it over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Well, there's been some excitement. Apart from your interview at half-time, Crooksy, we were all locked in here, if you didn't even know. The door in the winds flung closed and we couldn't get out.
Couldn't get out?
No, so shout out to Carlton Football Club. If you could put a knob on the inside of the door here, please, we would appreciate it.
All right, back to business. The ball's thrown in and there's a free kick to Sandringham, Rick. Yeah, put a knob on the inside.
No, there's no knob on the inside of the door coming in. So we got locked in, but funny stuff. Anyway, thanks to Lee Fraser for opening the door for us. So in the back pocket here, Sandy to clear through Worrell. Oh, the kicks almost carried the line with the breeze, but Worrell took a nice mark. And he likes to switch like they do all the time. They really love the switch, Sandringham, and this time they'll switch it over the boundary line. Got to be precise with that kick hugging the line. Bowman will take the kick and he centres it. It's all Sandy. Worrell comes in, takes the mark.
What are you expecting this quarter, Rick?
I think you'll see Dandenong won't push up the ground as far and they'll make the most of inside 50s. So sharked away nicely by Bain. Bain gives it to Bowman. Bowman kicks to the line and that's a hard kick. I don't think I've seen one of those kicks ever where the ball spun sideways basically.
Like a real helicopter.
I think that breeze has certainly picked up at ground level, so it might be a bit tough. The conditions
no doubt.
are
Look
hard.
at that breeze floats across. I'll keep it in through Plumridge with the haircut. Gets it out. Young. Hayden Young kicks to a very dangerous spot. Goes wide towards the pocket and out of bounds it goes. They seem to be getting that kick inside 50 right, Dandenong. The forwards have just got to read it now.
The defence of Sandringham have certainly stood up today. Josh Worrell now up to 12 disposals, 4 marks. Jones now 7 marks, 14 disposals. So those two have had great games.
Williams with the snap out of the pack and through for a behind. So that's the first score of the quarter. 6-4-40 to Dandenong to 5-3-33. That is on the NG scoreboard, and we are 3 minutes into this third quarter on the Technica time clock.
Anthony Seaton, hard up in the back pocket, grandstand side of the ground or northern side. It comes up, and Stocker comes in behind Huswaite, just gives him a solid bump in the shoulder blade, Rick. That'd just take the wind out of you. Huswaite doesn't seem too worried.
Liam Stocker's certainly not afraid of a contest. Quite a contested beast for the Dragons. So is Huswaite for the Dandenong Stingrays. No surprise those two go up in a contest.
Ball to be thrown in. Huswaite, underground handball. Bowman kicks a spiral, just going into the forward pocket. Over the boundary line and out of bounds. Forward pocket. I'll just check. We're 4.5 minutes in.
Ball thrown in.
5.5, yep.
Williams slaps it over the back. Sandy attempting the clearance, but they're running in and out of trouble. They'll work it towards half forward. Oh, juggling mark. Here comes Cottrell on the left. Williams is a target. He gets hands to ball. They let it go. Back pocket. Sandy defending grimly, trying to work it out of there. Good tackling. And the Dandy forwards keep it inside 50 again.
This is exactly what Dandenong want. They want their ball in their forward half. They're providing a lot of forward pressure.
Ball thrown up. It's a tussle. Play on, says the umpire. Nothing happening, and they'll come in, and the ball is up again. It's an interesting quarter. If Sandringham can be within like 2.5 goals, they might come home on a big wave. Williams, that's throwing the ball, umpire. Incorrect disposal. Doesn't call it. Now Williams gets a snap on goal, and it's through for a behind. Second behind of the quarter. They move on to 6-5-41. They lead by 8 points, 5-3-33 the Sandy Dragons. And we are 7 minutes in on the Technica time clock.
They'll kick long to a contest. Clears the pack. Bain trying to paddle it. Does well. Gives it across to Fletcher. Manoeuvres well, but it's pinched by, that time it was pinched by Owens. Fletcher goes and gets it again and hacks it inside 50. Spilt mark, allows Frawley in. He barrels his way out of there, manages to get a kick towards Williams. Brings it to Graham Williams, out in front, Bedford. He'll have a shot from the pocket and puts it through for an AFL Draft Central goal of the day. Well done to Frawley and Williams there to keep the play alive and through for a goal.
Third goal to Toby Bedford. He's certainly been a dangerous player. Usually runs through the midfield. He's spending a lot of time in that forward line, creating a buzz.
7-5-46 to 5 goals, 3-33. They shoot out to a 13-point lead, and the Technica time clock is 8.5 minutes in.
Up to 10 disposals now as well, Toby Bedford.
They go, the wind, you can hear it. Dandenong looking to get the ball out of the centre. Hasn't left the circle at this point. It's bobbling, back towards the little centre circle. The umpire will come in and throw it up where it all started 2.5 minutes ago.
Why do they have a little centre circle?
It's a good question, Rick.
I've always wondered that.
I'll take that one on notice as Huswaite drives straight into centre half forward. Ball's loose. Williams, no. Crunched. Kale, no. Can't get it. Bedford caught when maybe he didn't have it. There's a quick kick out of the pack. This will be a chaos footy. It's bouncing, bouncing, bouncing. Worrell grabs it, loses it. It comes out. Now they've got a chance. The kick was sort of smothered. Now quick kick up forward to half forward. And Mark spilt. They'll be just as happy to see it over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Yeah, it's not easy out there for players. This breeze is very swirly and strong, so even marking's become difficult. We haven't had too many executive maintenance marks for the day's contenders, so keep an eye on this. And that ball has carried forward. Oh, picked up by Hayden Young, who boots it to the... Oh, just got a hand on it there, Williams, and kept it in. Sandy to clear. And the ball tapped forward. Marnie grabs it and gets caught. Over the shoulder at half back. So Sandringham with the free kick.
Has to move the ball on quickly. Dandenong is set up well behind play.
They do, and they kick to Owens, who's having a good game as well. In the middle, oh, precise kicking there. And Stocker wasn't happy with the treatment, but he takes the mark. Goes inboard. Oh, beautiful pass, but Burns missed it. Allows Hamill in. Here comes Bain. He won't miss from there. Puts it through for an AFL Draft Central goal of the day. Good passage of play. They got numbers around, and they got it on the burst.
That is their second goal of the third quarter. They move on to 8 goals, 5-53 to Sandringham 5-3-33. They lead by 20 points, and we are 11 and a half minutes in on the Technica time clock as the sun comes out here at Icon Park.
You feel the tide starting to turn in the favour of the Dandenong Stingrays. They're starting to get on top around the ball. Sam Fletcher now up to 16 disposals, playing well in there. They're certainly starting to show their class.
Finley Bain kicks up to 50. Kale chases after it, keeps the ball in front. Boundary line beats both Alistair Richards and Ned Kale.
Nice and sunny in Melbourne yesterday, and we get this weather for the preliminary finals today. Tough
footy.
Conditions.
Ball thrown in. Tap down. Going nowhere. Cottrell. Barge through. Huswaite. Good handball over the top. Richards applies a heavy tackle. And in they go. Umpire to ball it up. We are just near the point of the square. Tap down, Stocker. Huswaite. Ball just into the forward pocket. Legend stand or Easton. Lygon straight into the ground. And the ball to be thrown in.
They're working it well inside 50, but they're just not getting drop punts in there. They're just tumbling the ball to this left side with the breeze. So just got to control it a bit better there, Dandenong. Ball in, forward pocket. Williams flings his man off. They'll tap it to McDonald. He goes in. It'll be a hot potato. He gets it back. Again, Frawley grabs it and lost it. Owens comes in to lend a hand. They should... Oh, no, that kick was touched off the boot. Now out of bounds it goes.
Can I order a hot potato with coleslaw and mayonnaise, please?
It is a bit like that.
And cheese on the top, melted.
You got to pay about $15 for that.
They don't miss you for a spud, do they?
What's it cost? About 50 cents for a spud?
If that.
Markup's all right.
In the wrong business.
Ball to be thrown in. Half forward flank. Dandenong attacking. Bowman taps it forward. Frawley. Oh, they just crunch him there. Frawley again getting involved this quarter.
Dangerous.
Gets it forward and a good mark to Sturt. And I would back him in from here.
In the right place at the right time, Sam Sturt. Clever mark.
Hasn't had a big influence on this game so far, but he has had his share of injury troubles over the last 3 or 4 weeks. He's got that knee strapped up from last week.
7 disposals and 2 marks Sam Sturt's had for the day.
Sturt looking to get on the scoreboard. Coming in. 40 metres out, directly in front, and kicks left. Didn't allow. So it's a behind.
They move on to 8-6-54 to 5-3-33 on the NG scoreboard, and we are 15 minutes in on the Technica time clock. Don't think this will want to get out to any further. There you go, Sandringham, good mark, half-back flank. As the wind picks up again. Kicks to centre wing, big fly for the executive maintenance. Not taken, but Sandringham got footy in hand. They're looking for Shergwin. Perhaps should have marked it there. They've got the handball away. They go forward. Oh, he played on. Kick. Oh, Rick. Did he get it? He did. Got me worried. That was Georgie Gray.
That was a great bit of work.
It was. It was.
Great passage of play, one of their best build-ups for the day, the Dragons.
Would have been a very difficult kick from that angle,
yep.
The breeze the way it is.
Yep.
So he played on and curled it around. That was great play.
Good call. 16 minutes in, it is Sandringham 6 goals 3 to Dandenong 8 goals 6.
That was the goal they needed, a bit of a team lifter. Remind them they are still in this game.
You wouldn't want to have too big a lead at 3/4 time. Sandy to come home with the breeze. Williams flicks it out. He's got foot on the foot. On toe. Behind him is Forbes, and they work it out of bounds.
Campbell Huswaite overtaking Sam Fletcher for the leading possession winner on the ground for the Stingrays with 17 disposals.
Quite achiever, Campbell.
Goes about his business here, doesn't he?
Good player. Tap to the back. Here comes Bain on the left. Goes to Williams. Gets it to ground and out of bounds it goes. They're probably attacking the wrong pocket at the moment, I think, Dandenong. Just got to open it up to that centre part of that forward line. Breeze is just going to naturally take it left. So we've got to throw in. Umpire's almost facing the other way. Comes in. Williams to the front. They paddle it out of bounds again.
Weather just comes and goes, isn't it?
Yeah, it's
blows like
probably better than what was predicted. It was
so
like,
far.
I don't know, like...
Armageddon.
Armageddon, yeah.
Like North Carolina at the moment.
Tap down. Plumridge just kicks it up onto the Legends stand, out of bounds. Some little kid will have a souvenir.
They used to do that in the old days. Windy Hill, I know they used to do that.
Kick it out to their brothers in the car park.
In Fletcher Street. Grab the TW. Ball brought back in by Sandy. Up they go. Bowman with the dirty big punch. Good work in heavy traffic. Huswaite. No, not Huswaite, sorry. They come forward. Kick into the pocket, and the mark is taken by Worrell. He's been impressive, Rick.
Yeah, he's
Worrell.
a good player.
He switches play. Back pedal, back pedal, back pedal. Kick smothered off the boot. Dandenong going to swarm on this. Look at this. Plumridge. Kick. Goal. Beautiful work. And that is a very good goal. Jamie Plumridge for the Dandenong Stingrays. And that is their third of the third quarter. And they move on to 9 goals 660 to 6 goals 339. And they lead by 21 points.
Having a great game, Jamie Plumridge, 15 disposals and now adds a goal to his name.
And we're 19 minutes in on the Technica time clock.
So 3 goals to 1 in this quarter. Dandenong with the breeze. They'll get it out again. They'll kick it. Or Foot will get the handball. Plumridge runs it back to Bain. Having a good game. A little dinky kick, but over the line it goes. Difficult kick under these conditions to execute. And Owens will take the free kick. He'll boot it long. Held its line. And we'll have a free kick, and looks like Rendell. Yep, Rendell. Will they just look for ground or kick to a contest? He's gone for a contest. And a good mark in front there. That was Garn, been a really good defender all year. Goes to Bain, playing well. Finley Bain kicks to the point of the centre square. McDonald gets it out wide. He's found Hamill out of side, who chips it inboard, doesn't blaze away, and he's given it to Bedford. Bedford goes long to the 50-metre arc. They'll have a shot towards the goal square here. Catches Williams out of position. Oh, they collide the Sandy defenders.
Oh, no.
And allows Williams in. Gives the handball off, and they've got a boot on goal. Was that
Taylor?
Jai Taylor there?
They have.
Oh,
Dear, oh dear.
colossal error. No talk. And the two defenders went for the mark and collided. Just allowed Williams in, who cleverly got it into a very dangerous spot. And that's a big goal in the context of this game.
Cue the Benny Hill music.
Yeah.
That was not great from the Sandringham defence, and when you're playing a side like Dandenong, you just knew that they were going to capitalise on that opportunity that Sandringham spoiled.
Great handball by Bailey Williams too, not to try and have a snap. That is 10-6-66, clickety-clicks to 6 goals, 3, 39. They're starting to open this one up, and we are, as I just opened my phone, we are almost approaching 22 minutes on the Technica time clock.
Yep, they just need to hold on here, Sandringham, and give themselves a chance, because they'll be coming home and able to kick long. Cummins taps it, Stocker underneath it, got pushed out of it. We'll have a ball up. Centre of the ground. Probably Dandenong have owned the middle 2 quarters, Sandy the first quarter. Tapped out by Cummins. They get it out. No, fresh air shot, but a hold. This will go Sandringham's way. Handball by Seaton. They run into trouble.
Good night, Irene.
And gang tackling at its best.
They've stepped it up a gear in this third term, have the Stingrays. Their pressure's been excellent.
Bowman, just kick it long. He does. He goes to Williams, and it clears him. And that was a well-weighted kick and a beautifully judged mark. Williams did get under it a little, but then doubled back and took the mark.
Starting to go to script, Rick.
It is.
What an excellent kick as well. That was beautifully weighted for Bailey Williams.
And Williams comes in from 35 metres out on the angle. Well, he kicks it high. Probably not the best way to kick with this breeze. Or you have to allow a fair bit if you do. Through for a behind. He's got at least 3 behinds as well today, Williams.
I don't know. Haven't been keeping them.
He's kicked 1 goal, but he's missed 3 minimum.
3 behinds are exactly right, Rick.
Good one,
1
Colonel.
goal, 3.
The Colonel from the Oakley Chargers. He's a popular figure down there.
Dandenong are going to go forward through Frawley. Williams, no, goes over his head. Sturt. Slam and Sam Sturt. Powerful left boot kicks his first for the day. And that is Dandenong's 5th in the quarter. They move on to 11 goals, 7. 74 to 6 goals, 3, 39.
Wouldn't be a game without Sam Sturt kicking one or two.
No, he's very good. I like him. Bottom major, be able to keep an eye on him next year.
In the middle. Tap down. Huswaite kick was smothered. Burns grabs it. Frawley out. Kicks in the Williams direction. They bring it to ground. Dragged it in. Got the handball out, luckily. They'd want to hold on here, Sandringham. They can't afford much more of a lead. And there it is. The siren goes. And at three-quarter time, we have 11-7, 73 Dandenong, leading Sandringham 6-3, 39. And we'll have the goal kickers, please, Siobhan.
For the Stingrays, 3 goals to Toby Bedford and 2 goals to Ned Cahill, singles to Jamie Plumridge, Jai Taylor, Zach Foote, Finlay Bain and Bailey Williams. And for the Dragons, multiple goals to Jack Marnie and Darcy Chergwin, and 1 goal apiece to Ben King and George Gray.
Throw in Sam Sturt.
Sam Sturt
and
got
1 goal to Sam Sturt as well.
Zach Foote's got 2.
2 goals to Foote.
Yeah, just catch them. Do a bit of arithmetic during the ad break. Great quarter by the Dandenong Stingrays. They put on 5 goals for to 1 solitary goal.
Just the one for Zach.
Just the one. Okay.
You're making it up as you go, Crooksy.
It is three-quarter time. We'll take a break. Be back on the other side of this for the last quarter. Following that game, there will be the Gippsland Power and the Oakley Chargers. And we're having a chat to Kevin Sheehan at half-time. This is TAC Cup Radio, streaming live through the TAC Cup website.
Technica is an Australian company that's been importing Italian-made and European-designed cooking appliances and white goods for almost 20 years. Technica appliances are a fusion of cutting-edge technology and contemporary design, providing a high level of style and sophistication to any kitchen. This is why so many leading architects, developers, interior designers and builders use Technica appliances, because like their customers, they want the very latest in innovation and quality. Technica, proud sponsor of the Northern Knights and TAC Cup Radio. Executive Maintenance has grown to be a preferred facility maintenance provider by maintaining excellence for over 25 years. A registered domestic and commercial building practitioner, Executive Maintenance provides facility maintenance for government, corporate, property and retail sectors. Whether it's a handyman for your corporate space or a fully qualified crew to manage your project, Executive Maintenance has the knowledge and expertise to provide a personal yet professional service. If you need assistance with your building maintenance needs, email admin@executivemaintenance.com.au. Executive Maintenance, a proud sponsor of TAC Cup Radio.
Cowboys Cash and Carry have the largest range of clothing bargains in the northern suburbs for the whole family. Schoolwear and workwear has just arrived and is half the price you would expect to pay at major stores. A family-run business, Cowboys Cash and Carry has new stock daily and 15,000 square feet of bargains. Come and see what the northern suburbs are raving about. Mention this ad and get 10% off their already cheap prices. Cowboys Cash and Carry, 169 Settlement Road, Thomastown, open 7 days.
Another year of TAC Cup football and your number 1 AFL draft site is back and bigger than ever. AdZ Media, powering AFL Draft Central, continues to revolutionise the way AFL draft content is reported. In 2018, the team has increased to more than 40 writers who will provide powerful and cutting-edge stories nationwide. With draft news, features and women's football coverage, AFL Draft Central is your one-stop shop for AFL draft content. Head to afldraftcentral.com.au or stay up to date with us on Instagram, Facebook and Twitter. Check out at AFL Draft Central. Essendon captain Heppel settles, and he's done it! He's slotted through the match-winning goal. Roughhead flies high across the pack and takes a classic mark. Pendlebury's leading from the front, clocking up the possessions today, and young gun pup Cal Porter is looking good in his debut match. Gippsland Power generates footy legends, and NG is the power behind Gippsland Power. NG Hazelwood are proud to be helping tomorrow's future stars as major sponsor of Gippsland Power. Gippsland Power, the backyard playground of tomorrow's future stars. Go Power! Nixon Finance has been running in the Plenty Valley area of Greensborough for over 20 years. As your financial consultants and brokers, they specialise in all your equipment and vehicle finance needs. Home loans, business loans, commercial property loans. They deal with all the banks and get the right loan that suits your needs. Call Phil Smith during business hours on 9435 2600 or email nixonfinance@bigpond.com.
On taccup.com.au, this is TAC Cup Radio.
Back here at Icon Park, mid-quarter. They lead at 11-7, 73 to 6-3, 39. That is, how many, Rick? 44 points? No, 34 points.
34.
34-point lead at three-quarter time. Although the Dragons do have the aid of the breeze. What's the stat situation, Siobhan?
Inside 50s, 23 Sandringham to 37 Dandenong. So that kind of gives an indication of where the game's being played. The leading possession winners on the ground for the Dandenong Stingrays are Huswaite on 19 and Plumridge and Bain both with 16. And for the Sandringham Dragons, 17 to Jones with 8 marks and 15 to Rendell with 6 marks. So those big boys have been quite impressive today. Also 60 to 48 in the tackle count. Sandringham leading the tackles, also showing that they are second to the ball and needing to tackle a lot more, as Dandenong certainly upped their game in that third quarter.
Good work.
Surprisingly though, Sandringham still ahead in overall disposals in the game, 221 to 215. So Dandenong have brought back that particular stat in the game.
Well, they're going to need to get one. They're going to have to get them early, Rick.
Oh, they're going to have to kick 6 or 7 goal last quarter to win the game, because the way Dandenong are playing, they're in front on the general play at the moment. So Sandy have got to start winning the ball, and I'd take a few risks and just boot it long down the centre and cause a bit of chaos down there.
What's Ben King? What's his tale of the tape for him?
King has had, in total for the game, 9 disposals and 4 marks. So Matthew Cumming doing a great job on him, because at quarter time, I reported back that he had 4 marks. So hasn't taken a mark since the first quarter, which is quite surprising. But Matthew Cumming's doing a fantastic job.
It's a hard day for the Tools to mark.
Certainly, yeah.
Because, you know, to get the ball into the wind, they've got to come up the ground, and with the wind, it's a big long bomb. So
I wanted to quickly mention Campbell Huswaite. I feel like he's had much better games, but he has had 19 disposals, so it just shows that he does just go about his business and play well every week. He's a great leader for the Stingrays.
Finlay Baines stats, how many is he up to?
16 disposals, 1 mark, and he's kicked the 1 solitary goal. He's also been quite impressive for the Stingrays.
All right, both camps have broken up. What's the comparison between this game and the game you called in the last round?
Oh, Sandringham are going a lot better today. In their general attack on the ball, they've been a lot better. Standy got on top there and converted. That was the key. They got 5 goals with the breeze that quarter, Dandy. And that's about where you need to be with this wind. It's such a strong wind. So you need to be kicking 5 or 6 in a quarter.
All right, last quarter action about to get underway. Umpire just about satisfied that the arena is clear. Holds the Sharon aloft. Last quarter action. Take it away, Rick.
In the middle they go. Bowman in the ruck gets a tap out for Sandringham. They paddle it forward. No clear winner yet. And we've got a bit of a scrum in the middle. And a free kick paid. No, he'll have a ball up. So, tap down. Fresh air shot. Richards breaks away, does well, gets onto the right. Kicks out wide. Owens is chasing hard. Taken that time by Lockie Young, and he gets all tied up. And we've got a bit of a dust up in the pocket.
Hello. Hello.
And we don't want any reports going into a grand final. And always seems to happen when they go over the boundary line, when they get collected. Here they go. Inside 50, Sandy. Trying to work something out of this. Kicked outside, and this will be marked by Reynolds. Reynolds with the number 74. Kicks out wide and Owens takes the mark. Oh, we've got a 50.
Oh, hello.
This is a big call.
Hello,
against
encroachment.
Taylor. And the mark's been taken actually by McGuinness. And he's going to kick from the goal square.
Finn McGuinness, son of Scotty McGuinness.
Okay, he goes
Hello.
bang, and that's through. So there's a good start to Sandringham. 11-7-73, plays 8-3-45, and that is on the NG scoreboard. And we're only 2 minutes into this final quarter on the Technica time clock.
That's the dream start for the Sandringham Dragons. They had to get the first goal to lift the team's spirit and momentum, and know they have the breeze behind their back in this last term to get back into the game.
We're back in the middle. Umpire tosses up. Rendell can't get it. Huswaite for Dandenong. One-on-one Williams. Ball bounces. Sturt and Plumridge. They get it across to Ned Cale. Plumridge, quick kick into the pocket. It's bouncing. Sandringham taken over the boundary line, out of bounds by Neddy. Forward pocket, Royal Parade end. They need to get this out of here. Danger area straight away. Umpire set, throws it back in. Williams gets the tap. Sandy through Stocker. High, wide and handsome to the city side of the ground. Dandenong to send it back from whence it came. Scrappy. The cavalry arrive. Ball is loose, close to the boundary line, and the umpire blows his whistle and it'll be thrown in.
This is exactly what Dandenong want to do. They want to have stoppage after stoppage. They want to slow the play right down.
Boundary umpire sets. Rendell up against Bowman. Rendell with the left. Gets it out. It's a bit of a kick off the ground. Trying to keep it in play. Sandringham, they work it out wide. Eventually Dandenong go forward. Williams, too big, too good and too strong. Marks the ball 22 metres out, directly in front. And this one will Stingray.
Yeah, it's into the breeze. Into the breeze, and yep, this will nearly be good night if he kicks this.
Williams comes in and he makes no mistake with that whatsoever. That is his second goal and Dandenong's first of the last quarter, and they move on to 12 goals 7-79 to 7-3-45 on the NG scoreboard, and the Technica time clock approaches 5 minutes in to this last quarter.
That one might be the killer blow. Good shot on goal from Bailey Williams.
Back in the middle, tapped over the back by Cummings. Palmed the ball nicely today in an unfamiliar role in the ruck as the first ruckman. And getting up gingerly is Huswaite.
Now up to 21 disposals.
Huswaite kicks long to Ned Carl. Thumped away. Or copped it. A bit of a knock there, Rendell. The umpire will have to come in and ball it up. We're 60 metres out from the Dandenong goal.
Ball kicked off the carpet by Rendell. It is marked by Shergwin. Shergwin kicks long. They're looking for King. Can't mark it. It's just good defence by Dandenong. The ball is close to the boundary line and out of bounds.
See the panic that comes in with that long kick. It just, there was a one-on-one situation. If he takes the mark, kicks a goal. But yeah, I'd like to see Sandringham take it on and kick long.
Boundary umpires set. We're in the 55 metres around from Sandy's goal. Tap. It's getting a little bit darker here. Shergwin over the footy. This is Marnie, can't get out. Taylor doing plenty of heavy traffic. Heavy work underneath. Cummings, Rendell, solid. It's been this contested rugby league type footy for a lot of passages of play today.
Both sides with strong midfielders.
And again, we'll get a tackle. Is this what all these rules changes are meant to be ironing out, Rick? This sort of stuff?
Look, I don't think there's anything too dramatic. The goal square I'm not sold on. I'd like to see a bit more data on it. Anyway, they're inside 50. Just a little handball out of there. Bit of volleyball going on. Oh, great work. They got it forward. Frawley got slung. Plumridge with the kick over the top. Here's open play for Jai Taylor. He's just got to pick it up. Got crunched. He was meeting the sandwich there. And the umpire will have to ball it up. We've got 6 over that. Now, there's a rule they could improve. You should never have 6 players sitting on top of the footy.
No.
No need for it.
Agree with you there.
Ball tapped over the back. Stocker goes with it. Gets flung. Gets it out in time. But eventually Reardon with a nice handball. Cottrell's kick was smothered. Denborough kicks long. Over the back. Oh, great defensive mark that time. Lockie Young. Classy player as well. Kicks into the middle to Fletcher. Sam Fletcher just holding it up. Kicks long. He's aiming for Frawley. Frawley gets over the top, comes down with it, but the man in front will get the ball in Worrell. Bit of staging going on there.
It was a solid return, Rick.
Nothing wrong with it. Worrell kicks long. Oh, Owens taps it forward. Handball is now out in the open. Owen gets it to the pocket.
His chance.
Probably needed to go left and right.
Oh.
And this allows Stenning in. Couple of handballs to McDonald. McDonald kicks to centre wing. Good work to Spoil. Jones gets it, runs into trouble, gets a kick on it. Luckily it hits the line. And he got out of jail there, Jonesy.
I think Sturt quite rightly put his hands up. He said, I've got the bloke. Is it incorrect disposal?
He actually got a kick on it. Ball underneath the sieve.
last second.
Cummins with another tap out. Hacked forward by Young. Bain dribbles it further.
Too high.
Too high,
Oh.
not seen. Richards. Players, there's not much room for error here. Hayden Young with the boot out of the pack. Here comes Frawley over to Williams, who's in the goal square and boots his third.
Good night, Irene, Rick. It is all over Rover. Second for the quarter to Bailey Williams, and that moves them on to 13 goals 7, 85, to 7 goals 3, 45.
Really standing up today, Bailey Williams. He's such a versatile player, but as a forward, very dangerous and very mobile, isn't he? How tall is he?
He is
198.
198 centimetres, 95 kilos. Also kicked 3 behinds today.
Up in the middle, Bowman gets it down. Fletcher was held onto when he was not in possession of the football. And Sam Fletcher kicks deep inside 50, looking for Williams. It pulls up short in the breeze, and the mark is taken by Nick Burke. Burke goes out wide. Not a good kick. It's taken by McDonald. McDonald goes out wide. They chip inside 50. And that is Fletcher, I believe.
That is Sam Fletcher. had a big day as well, 18 disposals so
Slamming
far.
Sam gives off the handball to, hasn't made the distance. That was to Finley Bain, or McDonald, sorry. And another behind.
Lockie McDonald now also up to 14 disposals, had a big last quarter.
They bring the ball back in, but it's Plumridge who's marked it in the bright orange boots. There is Stingrays everywhere. Bowman. Bowman goes laterally. He spots up McDonald, who goes out wide. Oh, comes off the hands, took it a little bit easy. And it is over the boundary line, out of bounds, 50 metres around from the Stingers' goal.
So in front of the Richard Pratt stand, outer side. Bit of fizz going out of this game. It's not a runaway yet, but Dandenong holding up strong in this last quarter.
Hang on, what's
So
happened here?
they're saying that was a poor throwing. Go back and do your job, they're saying.
Bit tough. He threw it in. The players were quick enough to go get it.
Okay, this time, tricky day for boundary umpires. Jai Owens, one of the best for Sandy today. Kicks long to centre wing, good spoil. Handball by Garn, hits Stenning beautifully on the burst. Goes down towards centre half forward. They bring it to ground, it's still alive. They work it forward to Watts, who intercepts. Gets it over to Owen. They'll clear again, but there's Garn charging through. Kicks towards centre half forward. Oh, over the top it goes to Foot. Foot with the little kick out. Ralphsprith gets infringed. Didn't appear to be much in that. Plays on. They kick over the top. Sandy in the van through Butler. Kick by Burns on the left, down to a one-on-one. 55 out, Stenning backs up. Does well, paddles it forward, gets off the handball to Bowman. They're a good unit, this Dandenong side. Fletcher goes inboard. Finley Bain gives it off to centre half forward. Jai Taylor will kick to the pocket. Up they go, over the back, and is that Ned Carl?
I reckon it is, Rick.
Just held his position nicely, had his player under the ball, and that kick carried nicely to Carl.
We hear the term a lot, Rick, forward handballs in the AFL game, and it's filtering through beautifully to the TAC Cup guys, and
So
it just opens up the game.
Ned Carl with 2, going for his third. 2 steps and misses. Like a few more steps in that run-up.
Yeah, it's a bit shy, isn't it?
Not a Ben Brown style run-up.
No.
Somewhere in between.
There's a bit of extreme, those two, isn't it?
Alastair Richards to bring the ball back in for the Sandy Dragons. It's uphill for these boys. 15 minutes in to the last term. Up they go. Mark is taken by Hugo Relsmith. Hugo kicks into the middle of Icon Park. Nice mark taken. This is Jack Mahoney. He gets it off quickly to Butler. Now he goes in short, just puts a bit too much on it. Dandenong, you think they'll be able to escape from this? They've got numbers. They feed it out to Huswaite, who kicks an up and under, but finds Kale. Kale goes out wide. On the speed, there is Lachlan McDonald, who looks for Bailey Williams, and doesn't matter. It goes a bit far, and slamming Sammy Sturt marks it on his May West.
I think they were going for the umpire there.
Probably.
I don't know why the umpires wear similar colours.
I think they've probably only got that colour in their wardrobe for this level. Don't think they've got a choice.
Okay. Could wear white.
Red, white, yeah. That'd be traditional.
This shot on goal will surely put Dandenong Stingrays into the grand final.
It definitely will, and don't call me Shirley. As the ball goes through for Slam & Sam. That's his second. Dandenong's third of the term. And that moves them on to 14 goals. 14 goals, 9, Rick, which is 96, I think. No, 93 to 7-3-45.
8 individual goal scorers for the Dandenong Stingrays today. They had an extraordinary amount of goal scorers last week, but still, once again, plenty of players bobbing up to kick goals.
16 and a half minutes in on the Technica time clock.
Bit of paddling around the centre. Young. Little dribble forward. Stenning gets it. Been good. They get it to Garn. Dandenong work forward. Juggling mark. Well done over the outer side. And a nice mark to Bowman. Bowman finds Foot. Foot drives it inside 50. They bring it to ground. Kick that time by Bedford. Very deep in the pocket and a mark to Bain. Or is it Hamill?
Good talking.
It's Bain.
He's had a really good game today, Finley Bain, up to 18 disposals.
Bain from the pocket. Tricky kick today. Gone the traditional banana bender, but didn't execute. Through for behind.
Who would ever thought the banana bender would become traditional, Rick, in the old days?
That is true.
Sandringham to bring the ball back in. Comes out wide. They're a chance through Cotterill. Oh, they're all alone in here. It is just petering out.
Lacks defence from the Sandringham Dragons, but I think even they know that Dandenong have this game well and truly done and dusted.
This is Slam & Sammy Sturt to get his kicking for his third goal. We're right behind it. Peter on the camera has got this lined up perfectly. 45-degree angle. He's on the numbers now. He'll kick from about 38 metres out. He comes in, kicks, and just took the little bend at the end through for another behind, and that pushes them on to 14 goals 10, 14 goals 11 by mine, to 7-3-45.
Long kick, down the middle they go. Too many Stingrays. Round the 50. They get in to lend support there, Sandringham. Carl hands it on. They get it out that time through Burke, but they're going back to the switch. That's okay, that's their game, Sandringham. And now they'll get it long. Oh, beautiful spoil by Cotterill. It looked all over Denborough's ball, but Cotterill came in at the last minute. And that was a great spoil.
He's another one of these Dandenong tools. It's quite classy.
Ball it up, centre wing. Little dribble forward. McGuinness gets it. Oh, sharked away by Huswaite. Again in the hands of Owen. He'll give it to Denborough. Denborough on the left will centre it. Kicks towards centre half. Oh, good mark there. And a nice take there by Dean. He goes wide. And a good mark to King. I think he had enough of that and then was bodied out of it late.
Quietish day.
Yes, that's his 5th mark of the day and his 10th disposal coming up.
So King, he's kicked 1 goal. Interesting where this wind takes it after that last shot up the other end. Comes in right to left.
Lovely
That's
kick.
amazing how up the other end it's heading the other direction. So King perfectly executed, through for a goal, and it's all too late because Sandringham will not be going into the grand final. Dandenong lead 14-11, 95 to 8-3, 51. That is on the NG scoreboard. And how many minutes have we got into this final
21
quarter?
minutes in.
4 minutes away.
As we're back in the middle. Ball brought down. Sandringham can't get the clearance. Now they go forward, the Stingers, by Bain. It's up in the air. Courage. Now they slip a big handball out. They're on the tear. Go in short and mark taken on the half-forward flank. They centre the ball looking for the Morris medalist in Liam Stocker. He's a kick and a half out. He kicks up. He's looking for King, who butters up his own work. Gets it across. Snap on goal by Stamatis. Off hands and over the boundary line and out of bounds.
Sandringham haven't played poorly today. They've actually played quite well, but Dandenong were just too good once again, as we've been saying for the whole year. They are just a very dominant unit, very well drilled, and have very good players on all areas of the ground.
Beaten by the better team.
Yep.
Ball thrown in. And a quick skidding kick at goal there by Charlie Dean. No joy. And we've got 2.5 minutes to go. Bringing the ball back in is Matt Garn. He's going to kick to the city side of the ground. Pretty good hoist. Comes out wide. Sandringham sets sail for home. And it's across the face, another behind.
Am I right in saying that Dandenong have never won a TAC Cup premiership?
You are right in saying that. They won't want to remember their last grand final. They've got a bit of a pantsing. But anyway, different team, different players. They'll go in. Well, they've got to wait and see the second game. Oakley and Gippsland were pretty good last week, so we won't say that just yet. But they've been on top all year for some good reason. Sammy Sturt's got it. Kicks out wide to Huswaite. Campbell Huswaite.
That's his 26th disposal, 27th coming up.
Huswaite slips, handballs. It's a dinky kick, and it is all Sandringham. Jack Denborough on the left boot, kicks it sideways. Cottrell, Cale, his handball's intercepted. Caught cold by Cottrell. Play on, says the umpire. Finn McGuinness is down there. They kick to Rendell, and Rendell kicks inside 50, and Charlie Dean has marked the footy. Down on the ground, Rick?
Yeah, it is. They're pretty happy down here in the huddle here at Dandenong. Breeze has dropped a little bit for the moment, but I think it's temporarily.
Yeah, we certainly don't seem to going to get the rain and the thunderstorms. I'll check the weather
radar. Still a bit black in that southwest.
Now bringing the ball back in. And that's across the face. And mark taken over the boundary line. They don't count. As Dandenong bring the ball back in. Time check is siren time. Ball gets kicked to half back. Huswaite marks off the pack. And it is all over in the first preliminary final. Dandenong Stingrays, 14-11-95, have defeated the Sandy Dragons, 8-5-53. The goal kickers, please, Siobhan.
For the Dandenong Stingrays, 3 apiece to Toby Bedford and Bailey Williams, 2 apiece to Jai Taylor, Ned Cale and Sam Sturt, and singles to Jamie Plumridge, Zach Foote and Finlay Bain. And for the Sandringham Dragons, 2 goals apiece to Jack Marnie, Ben King and Darcy Chergwin, and 1 goal each to Finn McGuinness and George Gray.
All right, I'll get you, as Rick's just waiting for some of the Dandy players to come over, some of the key stats for us.
Yes, for the Dandenong Stingrays, the leading possession winner on the ground was Campbell Huswaite with 27, Jamie Plumridge with 21, and Finlay Bain and Sam Fletcher both with 20. And for the Sandringham Dragons, Charlie Dean, Callum Jones, and James Rendell and Liam Stocker, 17 and 18 disposals apiece. Overall, the tackle stats were 70 to the Dragons, 62 for the Stingrays. The hitouts were quite an interesting statistic, with Dandenong winning the hitouts 54 to 31, and inside 50s, it was a weight of numbers towards the end of the game. Dandenong 52 inside 50s to the Sandringham Dragons 33.
All right, down on the ground for AFL Draft Central, Rick Morris speaking to Campbell Huswaite.
Yeah, Campbell, a bit of a shaky start in the first quarter, but you settled down in those middle quarters.
Yeah, well, we knew it was going to be a hard game from the start. Just want to make sure we were the first ones to settle into the game, and half-time, I think, let that happen. Finally implemented some of the footy we wanted to play instead of a one-to-one handball to kick ratio. Started to get a few more kicks going our way.
Would have been pleasing that third quarter. You used the breeze a bit better and got 5 goals on the board.
Yeah, a lot smarter than the first quarter. We were a bit annoyed with how we used it to start off the game, but sort of just lowering the eyes instead of, we knew they'd drop off a bit, but it was all about hitting it up and kicking over the top of them.
And you worked well in that final quarter. You weren't going to let them get some easy ones late.
Yeah, it's just all about slowing the play. So we knew they had the talent to turn it around. It was just about icing it pretty early. Just let a few of the Bulls go to work and just slow the game down a bit, which is what happened.
Well done on a great win and into the grand final and a great personal game, Campbell Huswaite. Here's a beanie for TAC Cup Radio.
Oh, thank you very much for that. Cheers.
Good work, Rick. And you're going to pluck one more from the troops.
Going to speak to Bailey Williams, 3 goals, 3 today.
Big Willow, he'll cast a shadow on Rick here. Take it away, Rick.
Yeah, Bailey, difficult conditions for a big man like yourself.
Yeah, it wasn't ideal. Yeah, it's a bit windy and blowy. Yeah.
And how did you see that first half? You got away to a bit of a slow start, but you really knuckled down in that second quarter.
Yeah, struggled to sort of get a bit of space in the forward line and get reward, but second half sort of bounced back and got lucky. But yeah, it was good.
And how difficult was it to lead up the ground into when they were coming into the breeze?
Yeah, it's definitely different, end to end. Sort of one end would sort of be fine over your head, and the other would sort of drop down. But you just adjust, and yeah, it wasn't too bad. Yeah.
And you're a real unit in that second half, Dandenong. You put it all together.
Yeah, I suppose. Yeah, we're really tight group, and we knuckled down and bounced back when we needed to. So yeah, it was good. Yeah.
What do you think you need to improve on to actually take out the flag next week?
I think we just need to keep playing hard footy. I mean, we've trained hard all year, and just to bounce back from a bad quarter and to take it out was good. So we just got to bring our best for the grand final.
Well, congratulations, great game yourself. 3 goals on the board, and good luck next week in the granny. Take a beanie.
So, cheers.
Good on you, mate.
Good work, Rick. Okay, tough day for executive maintenance marks of the day. Nothing that would lay